Hello and welcome to Flicks and Chill with me, Luke. Today I have a very special guest on my show. Rod is here. So, Rod, why don't you take it away and please introduce yourself?
Yeah. So my full name is Roderick Liptrot, but my friends call me Rod, so I just go by Rod. Ben I don't know. What do you want to know, Luke? I'm a
Just like
pretty
a bit
open.
of basic info about where you from. Like for example, like again, we don't have to go like I always say, we don't have to go if you don't want a city, we don't have to go we can just go state, what are some of your likes, what are some of your dislikes? Because obviously you're a movie person, so
I
that's
am,
why
yeah.
you are here. But
Yeah.
besides movies, what makes you you?
Yes, so I'm also a big sports buff. That's kind of what a lot of people know me by is my
Okay.
my my love of sports.
Hmm.
Growing up, my dad's always kind of got me into, invested in sports, and that's actually part of what I do for my career now is my investment in sports and helping athletes out financially.
Hmm.
So that's another big part of my life is sports other than movies. And
Hmm.
then also on the side too, I just love spending time with friends. I'm a very chill guy. I don't do anything too crazy. I don't like going out clubbing, all that stuff. I'm, very family oriented.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's a little bit about myself.
Okay, so what kind of sports are you into?
Football, basketball, and baseball. They might be main sports. Yeah.
So when you say football, just to clarify for us Europeans or for myself European,
Yeah.
you don't think
American
soccer?
football.
Yeah, America.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 correct. So football, you said basketball and baseball?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So basically, you are as American as they come. You are as American as an apple pie.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Like all the three, you have all the three big sports covered.
Oh yeah, but it's funny because I over the years I've gotten a little bit more into soccer or
Hmm.
football as you guys call it over there, overseas.
Hmm.
And I've always been invested like in the World Cup. So like when the World Cup is next year, so I'll be very invested in that. And actually, where I live, here in Georgia, they're actually hosting a World Cup game next year. So
Oh, that's cool. That is
yeah,
very cool. So we are still, so Scotland is about to qualify. I think they are doing quite well because I live in Scotland.
okay.
But originally I'm from Czech Republic. And I don't know if you've been following, but we are pretty shit. Right now, we've just lost to, so not Georgia U, but Georgia, the small team. No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. So, no, no, sorry, not Georgia. We just lost to another small team.
Oh,
Faroe Islands,
I'm guessing they're
and
I'm guessing they're not good.
they are very not good. They are basically out down there with like San Marino and all those like the tiniest of teams like Andorra. Even though apparently they are up on like a rise, so it's not that surprising. But still, we should have beaten them comfortably, and we didn't. So fun times, fun and games. Being a Czech fan, it's not. But when it comes to actual soccer or football, you know. But
So
yeah.
have you been a big football fan for most of your life or?
Like, I think much in like to an extent, yeah, because we used to actually be quite good. We used to be there was a period in my life where Czech Republic was like number two in the FIFA rankings. Like we were like just behind like Brazil, I think. And
Okay.
we had a great team. We had a good football players, but last almost 20 years or okay, 15 maybe, it's kind of like up and down spiral. Like, every time they start to play well-ish, it's like, oh, we might go back. Oh, never mind. And we just fall to the deep pits of hell. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, just why? So like, I don't even bother watching those games because like my heart can only take so much, you
Yeah.
know? Especially like, oh yeah, this is a very small team. You should beat them easily. And then they lose 1-0. I was like, the fuck? Just no. But anyway, so baseball, basketball, and football, American football. What are your favorite teams?
All right, that's a great question. For football, I am a Miami Dolphins fan on the
Okay.
NFL side. On the college side, college football, I'm a Florida Gators fan.
Hmm.
On the NBA side, it's the basketball, Lakers fan. College basketball, again, Florida Gator basketball fan. And then for baseball, it's Atlanta Braves, so where I live.
Okay. Quite a few Florida teams. Is there any reason
Yes.
for that?
Growing up, college-wise, I never, because my growing up on, like the sports side, on the NFL side, my dad has always been a Miami Dolphins fan, so I was grew up rooting for the Miami Dolphins.
I
But
see.
for the college side, I never really had a college team to root for. And then I started watching college football around the time it was like 2005, 2006 was when I really got invested in the college football.
Hmm.
And that's when they kind of had like I'm kind of going deep into the weeds here, so excuse me, but
All good.
they had a quarterback, Chris Leak and Tim Tebow on their team, and so I just became a Florida Gators fan from that era, and
Hmm.
I've just been stuck with them ever since. And then I also went to school in Florida too for college.
Oh, I see. How is it? Okay, the only thing I know about Florida is a lot of gators. A lot of interesting people live there.
Yes.
Every time there is an election, it just, it's always predicted, oh, Florida might turn blue, and it never does. At least not in my lifetime. I don't think it's happened ever since I was alive. And now, speaking of education, they are one of the first ones to basically like heavily edit what they are being taught in schools, like high schools and stuff,
Mhm.
with trying to rewrite history to an extent. And I'm like, Florida seems to be the anything goes or anything goes kind of state.
Yeah, Florida's a very interesting state politically. Yes, the people there are a different breed for sure. Um,
Hmm.
and it's funny because living there for 4 years for school, you kind of get acclimated there a
Hmm.
little bit. So you don't start like acting like the people in Florida, but you start to so maybe sometimes pick up a little bit of the tendencies there that,
Hmm.
especially where I went, because my school was right outside of Tampa, Florida,
Hmm.
and it was in the middle of butt fuck nowhere.
Hmm.
So all it was like our school, and then you had this little town. So, and then like this little bar across the street. So, like a lot of social outings would be at this little bar across the street, things of that nature. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's a different breed. But also, growing up too, would go there a lot because of Orlando, which is where Universal Studios and Disney World are.
Yeah.
And that was always kind of well, it still is me and my sister and I's favorite place, excuse me, to go vacation. We used to do it pretty much every year. We stopped probably around 2017, 2018, 2019. We stopped going every year. But then we picked it up like right after COVID. We started going back every year. So that's always been a tradition of ours, is going down there for Orlando for like a week and doing all the theme parks and stuff.
Nice. What's your favorite ride in Orlando, like a Disney?
So, all right, another great question. So in Disney World, it's the Guardians ride
Mm-hmm.
that they just opened up. I want to say like maybe 2, 3 years ago now. It's been around.
Hmm.
So the Guardians ride at Epcot and Space Mountain for sure. Probably my two favorite rides at Disney World.
Hmm.
At Universal, Islands of Adventure, it's the Velocicoaster and probably the Incredible Hulk. Probably my two favorite rides over there.
Okay. Interest. See, I've never been to any of the like Disney Worlds or Disneylands. I've never been to any of these, so like I still need to experience it. But I know many people, even adults nowadays, love the rides.
Oh
Like
yeah, well, the rides are
it's
great.
yeah, like it's now. I feel like it's now more acceptable if you're if you go to like a Disney World or Disneyland and you have no kids and you're just like two adults.
Mhm.
It's like now like, oh yeah, let's fuck around for a day or two in Disney World if you can afford it. That's
Well, that's another thing. If because
hmm.
Disney World has gotten to the point now, well, even Universal Studios too, it's gotten to the point where it's just really expensive to go.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm really fortunate that my sister and I can still go every year, but it's it's like taking out a mortgage trying to go to Disney World.
One of the reasons I still haven't gone because it's pricey. It is definitely pricey, but
Yeah.
everybody I know, and I know few people who've gone. Like there's a Disney in Paris, like so, quote unquote, next door. Like that's supposed to be also nice. So yeah, like okay, all right.
I have never been, I want to go to, that's actually a place on my bucket list to go overseas, is Paris.
Have you never been
Um,
overseas?
I've been overseas 3 or 4 times in my life.
Okay.
I've been to Germany once, but I was really, really young, so I
Hmm.
don't remember anything from it. I've been to Spain.
Hmm.
That was for a high school trip. The high school that I went to every year, they take juniors and seniors overseas to a trip. So it's like London every other year, and then uh, a different, country the next year. So I got to go to Spain for a week, and that was a lot of fun.
Hmm.
And then the last trip was Aruba. Went to Aruba a couple years ago, and that was really, really fun.
Aruba. Where is that?
It's like down. It's like south of me, south of Georgia.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's is that
It's like
tech
it's like near Turks and Caicos, if you know where Turks and Caicos is. It's like a little bit further than that, I believe. Yeah.
so is that technically overseas?
I consider it overseas because I need my passport and everything, so I consider it overseas.
Fair, fair.
Yeah.
I guess it's the same in the same vein as like, like you go to Spain and I've actually done this. So I went to Spain and then we took a day trip to Gibraltar. So Gibraltar is technically still a different country, so you need to have your passport ready when
Uh-huh.
you go to that big rock where there is like
Yep.
not much happening, but yeah, they stop you at the borders. It's fun times, yeah. But it was
See, all
good.
right.
It
So
was good.
see, I count that as overseas. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, no, yeah, 100%, 100%. And again, I've been to Spain quite a few times now, and Spain is lovely. Spain is like beautiful. Even nowadays, if you go to Spain, you might get squirted on with a water bottle or a water gun.
really. Okay.
Oh yeah, they don't like to because there are so many tourists every year. They really don't like it anymore. So,
It's funny because when we went, I remember the first night we had like it was pig. We went to this
mm,
restaurant. We had like actually it was pig for dinner.
yeah.
None of us ate it, and so we sprinted to I think it was like a Burger King or McDonald's right down the street. So us Americans still being us Americans, still choosing the fast food, but it was actually more expensive buying like a McDonald's overseas than it was if we
Mhm.
buy here in the States.
I was gonna say I don't want to, I don't want to offend anybody, but this is so American. Just like you have such a nice roasted pig or whatever you've been served, and you're like, ah, fuck this, let's go to McDonald's.
Yep, that's exactly what we did.
So you're not a very adventurous eater, then, I'm guessing.
Well, a part of it's because of my allergies. I'm allergic to a lot of things.
Ah, I
So
see.
I'm a picky eater because of that. Like I can't
Mm,
have any type of shellfish. Most
mm,
seafood I can't have.
hmm.
And then I'm allergic to basically all type of nut products. So I can't have peanuts, cashews, walnuts, anything like that.
Oh,
And berries I got to be careful with too. Mushrooms. So I have to be a picky eater, unfortunately.
is there something you're not allergic to? Like
Yeah,
that?
chicken.
That's that's a long list. That's
It's a
just like,
long list. It's a long
wow.
list. I can have basically any type of meat, like chicken, stuff like that. I can have.
Hmm,
And then
hmm.
my favorite type of seafood I can have is salmon. So I eat a lot of salmon. Like I do like a lot of salmon salads, stuff like that.
Salmon is good. Yeah, so at least that's something. Like you have your chicken, you have your salmon. I'm
Uh-huh.
guessing you can still have beef.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. I like steak. I just don't
Okay,
eat it. I don't eat red meat a lot. I try to be careful with red meat, but yeah, I do like a good steak.
very sensible, very sensible. Okay, so you mentioned you live in Georgia.
I do.
Okay, okay. So if I were to ask you, Rod, hey, I'm coming there just for 1 week for a holiday, right?
Hmm.
Where would you take me? What would I see? What would we eat? What's something about where you live, like or Georgia, that's only in Georgia?
First, I would tell you to hop back on the plane and go home. No, I'm kidding. It's funny because I've lived here. I wasn't born here, but I've lived here basically my entire life. I like to say my entire life.
Hmm.
I moved here in 2006.
Okay,
So basically,
almost 20 years.
yeah, because I'm 29 now, so I've been here for a minute. Um,
Okay.
yeah, 23 years. Jesus. Yeah. Wait, is that right? Is that right? No, not 23.
Well, if
Why
you
am I
if you move there to
19
2006,
years, 19 years, 19
yeah,
years.
it's gonna
Yeah,
be
19
almost
years.
20 next year. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 20 years. Jesus,
Mhm.
it's too early for this. I Okay, so I would take you to the aquarium. We
Okay.
have a really, really beautiful aquarium. I think it's still the world's largest aquarium, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken.
Mhm.
I gotta double check that. I would take it to the World of Coke because Coca-Cola is based here.
Oh yeah.
So I would take it to the World of Coke. My sister's probably actually been more than I have. We do have a theme park here. I
Hmm.
don't like the area it's in, nor do I like the theme park as much as I used to anymore. I haven't been there in a couple of years.
Hmm.
Uh, but I might take you to the theme park if you're looking to go on some rides and stuff like that. If you're a
What is
big
wrong
theme
with
park.
the area? Can I ask? What's wrong with the area where you have?
It's just not in a good area. At
Oh.
first, for me, it's a hassle to get there because I'm in the suburbs. Where I live north of Atlanta, so I'm away from kind of all
Hmm.
the city stuff,
Hmm.
the city noise. So it takes a good 50 minutes probably to even get to the theme park, and the
Hmm.
area it's in is just it's not a great area. It's just not. Um,
I see. I see. Okay.
and so yeah, so but I might still take you there. I'll protect you. Don't worry. Um, but part of the reason why people come to Georgia too, the food. So if you want some Southern cooking,
I've heard.
yes, there are a lot of good places to eat here in Georgia. What kind of food do you like though? Or are you open to anything or what?
Anything. Like I'm the opposite of you. Like I don't have any food allergies, so and I'm a very adventurous eater. So like my motto is I'll try anything at least once. At least once. Even if it doesn't sound or seem appealing, I'll be like, you know what? I'll still try it.
Okay. There is a good southern spot in the city. It's just hard to get in sometimes because it's like sometimes you just got to make an appointment, like a reservation just to get in.
Mm-hmm,
But I would probably take you there. It's called Hattie B's.
mm-hmm.
Hot chicken, really, really good. It's just like I said, it's in Atlanta, so it and traffic here in Atlanta is just it's the worst. It's terrible. That's why I try not to go into the city as much. But I probably take you to Hattie B's. There's a couple of good spots in Buckhead, which is also kind of like downtown area.
Mm-hmm,
Some nice rooftop bars. I don't know if you're a drinker or anything, but we can go to like a nice rooftop bar
mm-hmm,
and with good city views. Um, and then there's some local places actually around here, around where I live. Cabernet, if you like steak, I think you said you like steak.
yes,
Cabernet
yes.
is a good steakhouse, so I'll probably take you there too. So um, we would do that. I will take you to the if you have a significant other or not. It's still a good place for touristy places. Botanical Gardens,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
a great place just to kind of unwind, and it's very relaxing.
mm-hmm,
That place is actually not as tough to get to. So I would take it to the Botanical Gardens probably. Like I said, great place for a date, but also just a great place to kind of walk and things of that nature. Piedmont Park as well. They do a lot of food trucks and stuff in that around that area too.
mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, there's a bunch we could do here throughout the week for sure.
No, that sounds amazing. And as I always say to any of my guests, I've never been to United States at all, to any single state, but I would love to go not only to the quote unquote popular states like New York, let's say Los Angeles, like Vegas, whatever, but like I would love to go to the southern states to taste the southern cuisine because as somebody who watches Hell's Kitchen. And there's always one or two chefs, from like Louisiana, Georgia, Kentucky, whatever, right? And it's just like the meals they prepare. I'm always like, damn, that sounds amazing. Like I would
Mhm.
love to try some like proper gumbo. I would love to try like I never had proper like what is like shrimps and grits, like or something like that. Yeah, it's
Super
just
grits, yeah.
yeah, and just I would love to try it. Like something like in Georgia or Kentucky or like one of those states. It must be like next level.
So I've never had shrimp and grits, so I can't have shrimp.
Mhm.
But I would introduce you to chicken and waffles though, if you haven't tried chicken and waffles yet.
I like we have it here obviously, but I don't think we do it as well as Americans. So like yeah, I would definitely try that as well because again, when in Rome, you do as Romans. So if you take me to a place where you tell me, "Hey, they do a kick-ass, chicken waffles here," I'll have it.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna you know what, if you're in the area, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
take you.
100%, 100%. And again, like Georgia seems like such an intriguing place because for a while now, it's been booming, or to my understanding, it's been booming with like business because like a lot of Marvel stuff has been made in Georgia, right?
Yes.
However, that's changing now because
Yes.
Marvel is moving to Germany, I want to say.
Yep.
So that's, the good times are over, I'm guessing.
Yeah. We can probably partially blame our wonderful president for that.
I think a lot of that can be, yeah, a lot of things can be blamed partially, not even partially, directly to him, yes.
To our wonderful, wonderful, great guy of a president. That's sarcasm, if you guys couldn't tell. But yeah, a lot of Marvel stuff used to be filmed here,
Mm-hmm.
actually.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so then actually, my friend sent me this thing the other day that where I'm gonna try to do it in the next couple of weeks here.
Mm-hmm.
The place that they shot Captain America: Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a big Marvel guy. I'm sure we'll probably get into that later, but so I'm a big Marvel guy, and they shot a lot of, they shot um, a, a lot of scenes of Captain America: Civil War here in Georgia. So,
Mm-hmm.
like where they shot this stuff like for Avengers Base, it's actually I want to say a Ferrari dealership. I want to say, or a Porsche, it's either a Ferrari or Porsche dealership, and it's like an hour away from my house. So I'm gonna make a trip out there one of these weeks and go take some pictures and stuff, and just kind of view the area.
Mm-hmm. No, that would be awesome because yeah, like as you say, like I feel like ever since 2000, I don't know, like 15, like 14, like I see like you waiting for the after credit scene in the Marvel movie, and you always see filmed in Georgia, and it's obviously due to the tax credit. It used to be like a tax credit, right? Like
Hmm.
if you film in Georgia, you don't have to pay you pay like a very minimum taxes. You don't have to pay taxes or something. So the studio is like, oh yeah, let's move to Georgia. Cool.
Hmm.
And yeah, now it's like, oh yeah, let's move out of Georgia. Not cool. And it's just, yeah, fun
Yeah.
times. Are
Oh
are
yeah,
you
fun
guys
time.
you guys tired of winning yet? As your great president once promised, we'll be winning so hard you'll be tired of winning. Are you tired yet?
I plead the fifth on that one. Next question.
Fair. I think,
I
yeah.
I was just I hate getting into like political stuff. I do watch the news stuff like that because I like keeping up with everything. I don't I just don't like our president. So and I'm sure I don't know how political you get with your other yes, but
hmm
I, I'm just counting
Honestly,
on the days of 2028. That's all I can say. Just counting on the days.
well, yes, 2028, but there's already an idea that he might actually cancel an election because he's afraid of interference. And
Hmm.
again, with him, it's always like he says something like, "No, he's not serious. He's not serious," and then he does it. It's like, "Oh fuck, he is serious." So if they already floating the idea, or like yet again, oh, he might have a third term. Just watch, we'll figure out a way. And again, it's like haha, jokes. Haha, they wouldn't do it. Haha, jokes. Oh no, if there's a way, he will find it. Because
He will find a way.
there's so many like, oh no, he cannot cross that line, and then he crosses the line. It's like, oh shit, he crossed that line. Never, nobody's ever done this before. And that's been the story with him. It's like there's a line in the sand. Oh, he cannot cross this one because otherwise it'll be bad. He crosses it, and like and flips you the bird. Like, what you gonna do now? And it's like, oh shit, what are we gonna do now?
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but hey, like at least guys, you're finally winning. World is not definitely laughing at you. Like all is well. He's done everything what he's promised and much more.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hmm.
No, but yeah, no, it's look, yeah, the many people, especially here, nah, they don't like him.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that was like great. I think he did the Georgia proud because like there's quite a few things you listed out. So thank you for that. Thank you. I think with that we can move to the this or that game where I'll give you two options and you tell
Okay.
me which one would you prefer and why.
Okay.
So Rod, iOS or Android?
Android. I've been an Android guy my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand Apple products except for Apple TV Plus. Great streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as technology, as far as like phones go, always Android. Always Android.
So what is your phone right now? What's the model make?
This is a Google Pixel 9
Oh,
XL.
nice, nice.
So I'm a big Google guy. Everything I love Google. I got Google laptops, Google phones. I got a Google tablet. Everything is Google for me. So
Nice, nice. Google, like Pixels are good phones. Like the
mhm,
cameras are like very hard to beat. Only thing that always pissed me off about Pixel is their battery life is shit. Even when you buy it, it's just like their battery for some reason there's like they do decent phone, like decent specs, but the battery is always like underperforming. Even like a year in and you already have to charge it twice throughout the day. Like I have a friend who bought the latest one like a year ago, and he
mhm.
said like, yeah, on for my usage, I need to charge it like a few months in. He needs to charge it like multiple times a day, and like he's like, great phone, but the battery is awful. And he's a tech guy. He knows his tech, but he's just yeah, they cannot hack batteries for some reason.
Yeah, that's always my thing with Androids too, because it always starts out great, but once you've had it for like a year or so, the
hmm
battery life starts to get a little. It's like, wait, hold on, I was
hmm
at 85%. How am I already at
Yeah.
50? But I will say with the Pixel phones, like this Pixel phone, I don't have to charge it as much. I can probably charge it. I don't. I used to have a bad habit of charging my phone while I sleep. I don't do that anymore.
hmm
'Cause I don't like overcharging my phone. So I just, I try to charge it like at night before I go to bed. And then I will plug it in, sometime, around the morning, usually after I work out. And then that'll last me for a majority of the day.
hmm
Unless I'm like, unless I have to use it for like a Zoom call or something where I can't get on my laptop for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see that complaint. I won't argue with you on that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I will say just to, plug or not plug, OnePlus. I'm using OnePlus, currently 11. Had it for 2 years. The battery is still very comfortable one day. Like OnePlus, the cameras there are not that great. At least if you compare it to like Pixel and other brands, sure. But the battery life, 2 years in, still kicking one comfortable day. And I love that. So
I think it all depends on what you want, right? Do you want
yes,
the battery life or do you
yeah.
want all the, the cool tech specs of an Android? So,
Well, the
that's
thing
like, I
is
think it's kind of
now.
personal preference.
Well, the thing is now because of the progress in the batteries, because now like last 2 3 years we've had a progress with I don't know how much you know about this, but batteries have changed in the last 3 years because of like silicon-based batteries. So
Hmm.
because of that, they can make them much thinner, but they last longer and they actually depreciate less and less. So like now many phones, not just Android, have jumped on that, and rightly so, and Pixel is still kind of not doing it for some reason. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I'm a bit confused about their strategy, but hey, don't know.
Hey, don't ask me. Look, I don't work for Android. I don't work for them. I don't work for those companies. So
That'd
don't
be,
ask me.
but if you did, that'd be sweet job. That'd be some sweet money. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
1,000%.
TV shows or movies? I
Oh,
know, difficult one.
if you were to ask me this question maybe 10 years ago, easy answer would have been movies for sure.
Okay.
But I'm a big fan of streaming and I love television so much.
Hmm.
And I do believe we are in an era, Luke, where I think streaming has almost caught up to TV,
Hmm.
at least on the show side, movie wise. I don't know.
Hmm.
Like a lot of Netflix movies are crap, but
Yeah.
um, I'm still gonna lean movies, but it's very close, Luke. It's very close. Because I love binge watching.
Hmm.
I have like 8, 9 shows I watch at a time. Dang, that's a tough question.
I
I had a
know.
feeling you were going to ask that question too today. I was like, he's probably going to ask me movies or television. I'm still going to lean, I lean towards movies because there is one thing that takes it over the edge over
Hmm.
television. The theatrical experience is second to none. When you
Yeah.
go to the movie theater, it is second to none.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't beat it.
Hmm. That's yeah, I know it's sensible, and also you're right. There's so much. Like you look, because of there's so much of TV. On different streaming services. Are there more not so great TV shows anymore? Sure, but there's still some gems, and there are some great seasons of TV. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, as a person who's trying to catch up on about 10, 15 of them right now too. Yeah, I feel your pain. It's always like, oh fuck, I have 4 episodes left of this TV show, then this TV show just started again, so I need to catch up on this, and it's like, continues like a loop of,
Yep.
hey, yep,
Well, because what I do, because I work from home, so I usually have like, if I'm working in the kitchen or if I'm working here, I'll have like a screen up of
mm-hmm,
a show that I can don't have to pay that much attention to while I work.
mm-hmm,
And then or if I'm like watching football one day, I'll have a screen up for football and I'll have a show on at the same time. I'm a good at multitasking. I didn't used to be, but I've gotten better at it with practice. So I'm able to kind of like focus on the show and the game at the same time. But it's because right now I'm taking a break from watching a lot of new stuff because I'm doing my rewatch of Stranger Things right now.
mm-hmm,
So I'm to get ready for season 5 in a couple
yep,
weeks. So I've taken a break from watching a lot of new stuff. There's still some shows I'm watching weekly, but like
mm-hmm.
I've been focused on my Stranger Things rewatch right now.
See, I hear you, and I know people who do exactly the same thing you do.
Yeah.
I could not do it because I feel like, I could never focus enough just for one thing. So like when I watch a movie or a TV show, doesn't matter. I need to just focus on that movie or TV show. I cannot be on like oh yeah, and I cannot I also work from home every once in a while. But I cannot just, I would only put something on a second screen and watch it if I've already seen it, you
Yeah.
know, because then that way, because if I just do it whilst I'm working, it kind of feels like cheating, and like I cannot
Mhm.
give it my full attention, and then it's like I might miss something, and so it's like, oh yeah, this was fine, and then it wasn't better than fine, but I just missed a couple of details that would make it better. So like my strategy is always like, if you want to watch a movie or TV show, just pay attention to that 100%. But I know nowadays I'm in a minority because many people don't do that anymore. Many people do that your way, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm exercising, so I'm just gonna put this on, or I'm working from home, so I'm gonna second screen this show.
But it
Yeah.
also depends on, like if it's a one of those prestige shows, I don't usually do it. If it's
Hmm.
like a procedural show or something like that, or something I really really need to focus on, that's usually the show I kind of put on in the background.
Yeah.
Or it's when I'm rewatching something.
Hmm.
Because a show I rewatch basically all the time is How I Met Your Mother. That's my favorite show of all time. So
Great show.
yeah, it's my favorite show of all time. So I will probably have that on in the background sometimes, or it's actually my show before I go to bed. I usually try to watch at least like an episode or two before I go to bed.
No, I highly approve. Like, see, I didn't even know this, but I think I would still put it in my top probably 10, 15 shows of all time. You
Awesome.
know, if you ask me, Friends or How I Met Your Mother every single day and twice on Sunday. Thank you so much. Like, no, no, no. Like, for me, there's no competition.
No,
And
I agree. There's no competition. This could be considered a hot take actually, so I might save this, but I think Friends is a little overrated if you ask me. Truthfully,
noise, noise.
yeah, I can't stand Friends. So.
Fair. Fair. Tea or coffee?
Neither. I don't like, I'm not a coffee drinker and I
Okay.
don't really like tea. I'll drink tea every now and then if I'm sick.
Hmm.
Like I
Hmm.
actually just was getting over a cold this past week, so I did have some tea, but
Hmm.
I never liked the taste of either, to be honest with you. And with coffee, I didn't try it until my freshman year of college. And maybe it was just I had a friend tell me like maybe it was just the cup of coffee because it was at school, right? It was in the library.
Hmm.
You didn't get it from like a Starbucks or a Dunkin' or something like that, right? You got it from a school library.
Yeah.
So maybe it was that. So recently, actually, I tried it again. But I think it was like a week ago, and much better cup of coffee. But I'm still not gonna drink it coffee ever again. I just don't like the taste of it.
No, that's fair. That's fair. As a person who loves coffee, like and especially like, black with no like milk, no sugar, just
Hmm.
simple black coffee, But I understand it's not for everybody. So like, yeah, some again, fair. Money or free time?
Free time.
That was very quick.
Yeah, free time. I will. Don't get me wrong. We need money to live, of course, and surround and all these things. But what my parents have taught me over the year is just, when I've been grateful of the opportunity I've had to work from home is just, you really can't beat that. There's a quote from my favorite movie, what's the quote? No amount of money about a second of time.
Hmm.
Like enjoy the free time.
Hmm.
Enjoy, because time is precious. There's not enough time in the day.
Hmm.
And I feel like sometimes we take time for granted and time flies. Luke. I mean, it flies by.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the days fly by. I mean, look, I mean, we've been talking, it hasn't even felt like an hour. We've been talking for almost an hour already. And we haven't even gotten to the movie stuff. So it's just, there's never enough time in the day. So I will always say free time for sure.
And especially when you get, as you get older, it
Yes.
just the years seem to be getting faster and faster and faster.
I
It's
was
like
telling mom that the other day, Luke. I was like,
yeah, yeah.
this year has flown by.
I cannot believe it's almost like we are recording this mid-November.
Yeah.
So like, but I cannot believe it's almost 2026. But and this episode will drop like early December.
Hmm.
So like, we will be even closer to 2026. And I'm like, how did that happen?
I, Luke, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't.
it's insane. Honesty or other people's feelings. Hmm.
Wow, you got deep. Whew! Uh, I always believe, Luke, it's always best to be honest, especially with your friends and family.
Hmm.
But you always have to be mindful of other people's feelings. So I think it just depends on the situation. However, I'm still probably going to lean towards honesty.
Okay.
That being said, that doesn't mean I don't respect my friends' feelings or anything. I feel because the truth will always come out eventually. And so I feel like it's always good to kind of rip the band-aid off.
Hmm.
But like I said, I feel like maybe you agree or disagree with me, Luke. Like I feel like sometimes it's situational, depending on what the situation is. Like
Hmm.
this is the time. This is just the right time to be honest with that person, or is just
Yeah.
maybe pull back and be honest later. So I'll still lean toward honesty though.
No, I get you. I get you. Like, and I actually agree because somebody who is very brutally honest person, I've been most of my life. As you get older, you learn to pick your battles, and
Hmm.
you like now it's like a movie scene almost. It's like if you presented with the opportunity, I'm like me 10, 15 years ago to be like, oh yeah. I would just be totally honest and say like, "Oh, you're an idiot," because of like if somebody says something to me. But now I would just lean back and be like, "Yeah, sure, right, whatever you say," and I would just be like, "Okay, I'm out," and like I'm not gonna get involved in this. So yeah, like you learn to pick your battles.
You do.
hmm Summer or winter?
Summer.
And how does summer in Georgia look like?
Like the Sahara Desert. It's hot as hell here, man. And I tell you the truth, it's too hot. It's too hot. And actually, this is coming from someone who prefers cold weather. Honestly, like I prefer like I always have my house freezing. Like I need it cold.
hmm
But I prefer summer for sure. Now, if you were to say summer or fall, I might tell you fall because
hmm
that's sweater weather, and I like being in long sleeves and sweaters. But you said summer or winter, and I don't like the winter, so I'm gonna choose summer for sure.
Yeah. I'm also more of a fall person, but summer, winter, I would also choose summer because yeah, like winter is just not my favorite.
Yeah, it's just it gets it's just too cold. It's just too
Yeah,
cold.
it
But
is.
if the winters here in Georgia are different than like winters up north and stuff like that. But it will get cold here, but it won't get cold like a New York or Chicago or something like that.
Yeah, do you guys get snow?
Yes, we do. And when we do get snow, it's like the end of the world here. So
Uh
because we don't know how to prepare for it.
yes,
So
yes, yeah, yeah. That's the worst that can happen to a place where they are not used to snow. Suddenly they have snow, and they're like, "Oh, how do we drive in this? What do we do?" And
exactly.
yeah, yeah. Cannot imagine. Well, I can kind of imagine because Scotland is the same. Like we don't get much snow. We get 1, 2 weeks max, and it's not like straight. So, and yeah, everyone's and when it happens, a lot more accidents, a lot more people just fall and trip on like ice, and yeah, because they're not used to dealing with that. Yeah.
So we had my senior year of high school, so we're going back 11 years, 2014.
hmm
Um we had two snowstorms or ice storms, you want to say. And the first time the state was not prepared for it at all. And I
hmm
remember some of my friends being stuck like on the roads, things of that nature, because they just couldn't get home because the roads were just really, really bad. I was fortunate enough where I was just like 5, 7 minutes away from my house where my school was, so I was able to kind of get back home safely.
hmm
But we were basically everything was shut down. Like people, for a week, so we'd have school for a week. Things of that nature was awesome for me, for us. And then it happened again 2, 3 weeks later. We had another but snowstorm, but we were prepared for it this time. And we still had a week off from school. However, the ice storm only lasted like 2 days, so the rest of the week we had off. It was like sunny and everything, which was awesome for myself because it was also happened to be the week of my birthday. So
Yeah,
it
it's
was really cool.
nice. But see, that's something this generation's lost because of like Zoom and like online learning. No more, snow days, no more days off. If you cannot come, okay, we are, it's
Yep.
all, tomorrow's lesson is gonna be all online. Please log in by 9 a.m. And I'm like, oh, it sucks to be kid right now because like we didn't get many snow days, but we got some when I was growing up where I lived. So I still remember like, oh yeah, can I go to school? It doesn't don't have to go to school today. Cool. But yeah, it only happened like maybe once or twice because we are like Czech Republic is usually prepared because we get snow on more regular basis.
Right.
So yeah.
I'm curious too.
hmm
Like, because I don't, I think kids now get more breaks though. Because they have like, they have breaks that we never got as kids,
hmm
especially like in high school, like fall break and, oh, a second fall break. And I'm like, two fall breaks? What the hell? I got maybe one. We still get like Thanksgiving, Christmas, holidays off and stuff. But they also, at least here in Georgia, they go back so freaking early. Like they go back to school like the last week of July, first week of August. They go back to
hmm
school.
Wow.
So that I remember, yeah, because I went to private school for high school, so we would always go back really, really early.
hmm
So did you go back to school really early stuff? Like, would you go back like July, early August, or do you remember?
No, because like in Czech Republic, it's quite simple. So you have 3 months. Wait, no, sorry, 2 months off, like for summer. So your school is from September until end of June, and then
Wow.
July, August, yeah, and July, August free, like 2 full months.
Okay.
And then you would get, but I think it's changed also. Like it depends, where you live. But you do get a like fall, like or autumn, which is like I think a week. But then we would get also like, bank holidays, so like, we have our own bank holidays, obviously. You have like you have a spring break, you have like an Easter break and all that. So like now they definitely have extra few days I didn't have. And, I left high school 15 years ago. Oh, damn. That's a long time. Fuck me. I'm old. But like like now, I don't have kids, but my
Yeah.
sister has two boys, and they are both now in primary school. And I'm like, oh, they are off again? What the actual fuck? They were just off like the previous week. What?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know exactly what you mean. But so it's not just American thing. It's just like even here, like in, in the UK, they get quite a few days off, like here and there. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. And yeah, just you kind of wonder, is like, oh, I wish I was also off from work, like as often as these school kids are. That'd be so cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So probably the most important question of all,
Uh-oh.
ninjas or pirates?
That is a very important question. Thank you
It
for
is.
asking,
It is.
sir. Ninjas.
That was also very fast. How so? How come?
Uh, I think one, I have a respect for the martial arts. 'Cause I actually did used to do a little karate back in the day.
Hmm.
So I've never been a big pirates guy. Just now for pirates, I drink a lot of rum, and
Nice.
I do like rum. But
Hmm.
I yeah, I kind of want like with ninjas, they gotta stay in shape, and I always want to be in shape, stuff like that. So
Hmm.
and that I've always wanted to learn some of those moves. So yeah, I'm gonna choose ninjas. Ninjas, absolutely.
Okay, so you prefer the code of honor and have like a regime rather than just be like on up and out and about on the seas, drinking rum, doing anything you want.
I
Okay.
mean, if I could be a ninja and still drink rum, that'd be great, but I probably couldn't. So
I mean, you can make your own path, Rod. You can make your own, like, you can branch out and you could be the ninja that starts it all. Think about it. You could be the trendsetter.
you gave me
Hmm.
some things to think about, Luke. You gave me some
I
things
know,
to think.
right? I know, right? And the last question, free will or destiny?
Free will.
Mm.
I,
You
I
did think about it for a second.
I did because with Destiny, it's interesting. Because with Destiny, I tie that back into my belief of I believe there is a person out there with everybody. It's just a matter of when that person shows up in our life.
Mm-hmm.
But I also believe in free will and being able to choose kind of your own path, things of that nature. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm gonna say free will.
Okay. And when you say person out there for everybody, you mean like significant other, like a
Correct.
wife, boyfriend? Yeah.
I believe there's a partner out there for everybody.
I see. Like I don't. I am on your page, but I would go even one step further. I would say like there's probably 100 people for you at least any given time.
Hmm.
Because like like the more you understand, I feel that's how I feel about it for a while. The more you understand, there's like 8+ billion people living on this planet, right? That's a
Yeah.
crazy number. There's no fucking way there's only one person. There's like, it's like, yeah, like soulmate. Like I feel like it's a great romantic concept. Like, we all have a soulmate, just that one person, right? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm sure, like, if you like, you live in Georgia. If you move to Florida, or if you move to LA, or if you move overseas, I'm sure within a couple of years you'll find at least one other soulmate someplace wherever you move. Now, like, it will take a while, but I'm sure you will eventually find somebody else.
It's funny you say LA because I hate LA so much.
Okay,
I
okay.
do not like LA. California is a different breed. Talking about Florida being a different breed. The West Coasters in general are just a different breed.
Hmm.
But LA specific, LA is not like you see in the TV shows and movies, by the way. It is a lie. That is a lie. It is dirty. I do not like LA. But they do have In-N-Out Burger, and I love In-N-Out Burger.
Hmm.
So there's that. But I would move to Florida. I would
Hmm.
move back to Florida. But I like my home is here in Georgia, so I don't think I would ever
Hmm.
move back. I don't think I can't see myself unless going back to Destiny, I'd meet that person
Hmm.
who I would move anywhere with. So, but it would have to be
Hmm.
like I said, the right person.
Yes, yes, 100%, 100%. And to clarify, my previous point wasn't about you moving. It was more if I don't know if you are married or have a significant other right now.
Mm-mm. I do not.
Okay, so that was the point. Like, if you had somebody right now, let's say, right?
Okay.
Uh, I have a wife and I love her. Great. I don't, I'm not gonna say, oh, there's nobody else for me in this world. There probably is, but I'm right, but I'm with my wife now, so that's not how I play this game. This is, I
Right.
decided, and but again, it's so I was thinking more like it's a very interesting romantic concept. Oh, there's only one soulmate in this planet, and
No,
we found
I
each
would
other.
I would lean towards you. Kind of what
Hmm.
you're saying. I think there are hundreds of people out there for us. I think
Hmm.
the problem is the world is so big, so we're not going to meet every single person. But I feel like once you find that one person, that's all you need right there. That's all you need. Like you said, you're married, so you
Hmm.
found your person. You don't need anybody
Yes,
else.
yes, correct. And also, I would say timing is everything. Like
That's something. Yeah,
you can
timing is.
find your person, but if it's too early, it won't be your person. Or if it's too late, you might not have enough time with that person. It's
It's funny you said that because I feel like I've had that happen before in a relationship where just the timing
hmm.
was not right.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean that was unfortunate, but um I've actually I was just having this conversation with somebody yesterday that I of the people I've dated in my life, there's probably only been one person I would actually consider like really, really marrying.
Hmm.
And I think a part of that was just timing. So yeah, it's man, I didn't expect to get this deep into this podcast today, but yeah, it's
I know, right?
no, I love it actually. This is great.
That's
I
good. That's good.
Yeah, so I have yet to find that one. I am talking to
Hmm.
somebody right now, but it hasn't gotten to that point of like, yeah, I see my future, but like I said, we're talking. I think
Yeah.
that's early stages.
I was gonna
So,
say you're in the early stages, like no need to rush anything. I don't think. Like when I met my wife, I was in a stage where I was like, you know what, let's just have some fun. We'll see what's out there. I'm not looking for anything serious for first time in my life. And then I met her. I'm like, okay, this might actually be something serious. I'm
mhm,
like, yeah, you never know. You never
you
know.
never know. And I feel like too,
Hmm.
with that, Luke, I want to see if you agree with me on this or not.
Hmm.
I feel like when you find that person, it's going to come unexpectedly. Like you can't plan it. It comes unexpectedly. They come at a point in your life when you least expect it.
Yeah, because it's like it's almost like if you're trying too hard with almost anything, it's many times you are your own obstacle in whatever you're trying to
Yes.
achieve. Like, yes, there's, you should work hard, you should do this, you should do this, all the steps, right? But there is something to be said about if you try to just too hard, you know, I feel like you might become your worst enemy when it comes to achieving any goal you want. Like, if you want to, like, not just partnership, not just like, dating people or getting married or whatever. Like anything, like if you, like you said, you want to be in shape. Like I want to be in shape, but if you are gonna go suddenly from doing nothing to I'm gonna be in a gym every day of every single day, every single day of a week, eventually that's probably not gonna be healthy for you. That's trying a bit too hard there, right? Like there needs to be an optimal, like a medium kind of way for most things in your life. And that's what I believe. Like, there's always like the golden route, quote unquote, where it's like, yeah, maybe let's do this, but we don't have to go all the way in, not be, try hard about this.
Well, I try to actually, it's funny you said that because I was working out right before we started.
Hmm.
And so I work out about like 5 times a week. I can't
Wow.
work out every day. But I usually take like Fridays and Sundays off. So, 'cause those, I consider those my lazy days, Luke. So, but I'm actually going to work out tomorrow because I actually skipped the past couple days. So,
Mm.
yes, it's, staying, it's funny you mentioned like staying in shape, stuff like that, because I feel like that's one of the toughest things in life is just like that extra motivation just to get to the workout, right?
Tell me
Just
about it.
but you feel so much better once the workout's done.
That's the thing. Like, and I need to go back as a person who needs to go back to the gym because, like, I haven't been in ages. Yeah. It's like, I know I'm gonna enjoy it once it's done. I know I'm gonna feel so much better about myself once it's done. But in the moment, it's like, oh, this is fucking hard. This is fucking hard. But it's the thing. Like, if you actually stick to it, it's gonna be less and less hard. Like, at
Yes.
some point, that's what I've been told. That's that's what keep the much more shapely people tell me. It's like, hey, bro, you just stick with it. It's gonna be it's gonna be better. Yeah, okay, okay, dude. Thank you. It's just yeah, like, oh. But yeah. So before we move to the flex part of this podcast, do you have any opinions, controversial opinion or hot take you would like to share with us?
We kind of mentioned it already.
Okay, tell me.
It's going back to the shows versus movies thing. I don't know if I would consider this like a really, really hot take, Luke,
Hmm.
but I would, I was gonna mention this too. So maybe I lied earlier when I told you I didn't have like a hot take. I just didn't know if it's like a really, really hot take or not.
Hmm.
But I think most days now I do prefer watching shows over movies.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's a hot take, but I understand. I understand.
because I and I mean that's a hot take like because of what we do because we know we love film. That's kind of how we got into this area of like we lovers of film and film is always better than shows, all that things of that nature. But I feel like TV, especially like 2020, actually, I'm even before that, I feel like Stranger Things started this era of just really quality television,
Hmm.
of like Stranger Things, Ozark, like Netflix, that Netflix kind of era when they really started focusing on shows.
Hmm.
And then now we have you mentioned that we have all these streaming services now where the quality is almost cinema-like for some of
Hmm.
these shows.
Hmm.
Um, so, like I said, I think I'll still prefer movies over shows, Luke. Like I said, this is not a really, really hot take, but
Yeah.
because I struggle with hot takes. I don't know if I have a lot, but
That's fine. That's fine. No, we can talk about that because again, like I think you were right. I would say even like I think there's a for TV, there's two clear points where it's like, oh, TV is where because it used to be TV is where the old actors who are not marketable anymore, they go to die, right? Or if you
mhm,
did a TV and you were an actor back in the 70s, 80s, that means your career is dead, right? But
right.
like but there were two points where it kind of like shifted. First being like early or late 90s, early 2000s, where it's like HBO, because with their stuff like Sopranos, The Wire, Sex and the City, even though I don't really like that show, but it's not for me. I understand.
Yeah.
It's they introduced what would become like the prestige TV. Like, like, oh, that can actually be a good thing. This can be actually, you can tell stories and tell them well. And then, yeah, as you mentioned, Netflix with like, House of Cards, Orange is the New Black, then Stranger Things, Ozark, those shows, they taken what was common and they improved upon it, where it's like, we don't need you to make 20 episodes. We don't need you to make even 10. If you want to make 6 episodes for the season, on you go. You know, and I think like that's the model that Netflix mastered until
Hmm.
they didn't, until they kind of lost their way. And now, yeah, the what's pissing me off about especially Netflix, the wait time between seasons, the wait time between they have a show and then we wait like 3 years for a next season, and it's like, fuck me, you
Yeah,
know.
that's the one thing I don't like about television right now is like the wait between seasons. It's gotten really out of control. And I think Stranger Things is kind of the biggest culprit of that for waiting
100%.
3 years. Yes, three
100%.
years between seasons, which is ridiculous. Where it's going to be really hard to believe that these kids are still high schoolers. Like, because I mean, because Millie Bobby Brown's not she's a mom now.
I was gonna
So it's
say.
like, how am I supposed to believe she's still like this, what, 16, 17-year-old? Severance have like a 2, 3 year gap.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
I think HBO is trying to get better about that now because like one of the better shows that's come out this year was The Pit,
Hmm.
and they're gonna try to do a structure where it comes out every year, like 15 episode season. So
Hmm.
I think we're gonna eventually get back to that, Luke,
I
but
hope
we're still
so.
gonna have those shows like we don't need a season of Game of Thrones every year because I get it.
Hmm.
Those are really, really high quality productions. Like those need time. So
Hmm.
I don't need like a 2 year gap though. Like if we go, I'm okay for me at least. A Game of Thrones. If we go 2023 and then the beginning of 2025, we get the next season. Okay, that's great, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, or like the end of 2024.
Hmm. Like
Okay,
year and a half, I think. Like I think there is a golden spot where it's like, you know, year and a half. Like should be like absolute max. Because like
I
like
agree.
Stranger Things is the perfect example, right? I remember when the fourth season came out, and it was the biggest thing ever. Like it was like for that month alone. I think it was like May for that
Yeah,
month. That like I made this joke before. I like there was a time where I was afraid to open my fridge because something strange strange things might pop out from my own fucking fridge. It was like there was no escaping. And then Now obviously people are still hyped for season five, and it's gonna do phenomenally well. But I just cannot, help but feel just, they kind of kill their own momentum at tiny, like not even tiny bit, like a lot. But we'll see, like once the numbers are in, what will Netflix report at least? Because like if we didn't have to wait for that, like show, and as you said, these, I'm not the first one to make this joke. They are no longer kids. These people have mortgages. These people have kids.
Yeah.
Like it's very hard, and when it's a specific show, hey, bunch of kids running around in the 80s and fighting these demons. Cool, right? And then 10 years later, finale. Oh, a bunch of very young. Oh, this is not even very young adults. These are just very adult people still running around.
You know what's gonna feel like? It's gonna feel like Sam Raimi's first Spider-Man movie, where
Mhm.
they were all playing. You had like these late 20-year-olds, like people in their late 20s playing high schoolers, like Joe
Yeah,
Manganiello and Kirsten Dunst and James Franco and Tobey
yeah,
Maguire playing high schoolers. It's like I don't believe this for a second, but
yeah.
I'm buying it. I'm with them. I'm just not buying it. So
hmm
I'm curious though, and I've said this on my own podcast before. Like, what is Stranger Things? What is Netflix gonna be like when Stranger Things is done?
Well, they already are planning like a spin-off or two. There's like
But
animated
who's
show
gonna really
coming.
care about that
That's the
spinoff?
thing.
That's
That's the
yeah.
thing. Yeah, I know. But this is how the executive, people think. They don't think, oh, hey, we gave them a chance, these two weirdos, these Duffer brothers. We gave them a chance with this concept. They don't think, oh, we should do the same, and we should make, another unknown people, give them a chance if they have a quirky high sci-fi or whatever concept, right? No, they think, oh, Stranger Things did well. We need to have 10 fucking spin-off yesterday because people need to see the Stranger Things logo. They need to see the Stranger Things brand, right? The IP. But they forget, like, Stranger Things when it premiered in 2016 was not, it was nothing. It was just like a, weird show on Netflix. And many people watched it and are like, oh, this is actually fucking good. I would like the season two, please. And I think this is what, like, not just Netflix, but all the studios forget. Everybody nowadays wants to be played safe. Oh yeah, a remake of this because people know this IP. People recognize this, so people should go to the cinemas, right? And yet again, that movie fails. And they're like, oh, what did we do wrong? I guess the hiring this director didn't work or hiring this actor didn't work. It's like, no, fucking give people new stuff. Like Indiana Jones wasn't a trilogy or a franchise until it was. Star Wars wasn't a mega billion empire until it became one.
Oh, don't mention Star Wars to me right now. That hurts. That hurts. That hurts. That is what Disney has done with Star Wars is a damn shame.
It
Um,
is. Yeah, it's.
yeah.
I say this as somebody who defends most of their stuff, like, but yeah, like it's definitely they've taken some wrong turns and pissed off some many people, even the actors themselves, even the creatives themselves, and it's just like, ah,
I, with Star Wars, it's interesting. Look, I loved when it launched on, but when this with Force Awakens, I was like, I am in. This is
yes,
great.
yeah, yeah.
I love Rogue One. Rogue One has aged so well for me. Like it's now my
Mhm.
favorite Star Wars movie.
Oh, nice.
Last Jedi, I will defend Last Jedi.
Same, same.
I love The Last Jedi. I will not defend The Rise of Skywalker.
Me neither.
I will not defend it. I will defend three of their shows. I will defend Mandalorian,
hmm
minus the third season. I think the third season's crap. I actually really like Ahsoka.
Same. Yeah.
However, I think Ahsoka was meant for Rebels fans. And I think if you didn't like Rebels, I don't think you're gonna love Ahsoka. That's just
Yeah.
me personally. Now, I do have a friend who didn't watch Rebels and still enjoyed Ahsoka, so
hmm
there's
hmm
that. But I think Ahsoka, if you watch that show, you realize, yeah, this was made for Rebels fans.
Yeah.
Um, and then I will defend. Well, I guess you can count Rebels as a Disney era property, right?
Technically, like,
Technically,
I think technically because there wasn't it that show that just came like 2012 it premiered. So I think, and it was right around the time when they bought them, like when Disney bought Star
because
Wars.
didn't it premiere? Was it did it premiere on a Disney platform on like one of the Disney channels or
I think it was like the Clone Wars definitely was that show, but it was like on I think it was the
or
Disney
was it was
Channel.
Clone Wars Cartoon Network?
Oh no, no, you're right. Sorry,
Yeah,
you're right. So it must have been Rebels. So the
yeah.
Rebels was for yeah. But yeah, no, Clone Wars. You're right. Cartoon Network. Yeah.
And then I'll defend Andor. I think Andor's. I don't love Andor like a lot of people do. I think
hmm
Andor's good. But Andor's like very. mature Star Wars. Like
Very
I
mature, yes.
very mature. That's what you would really call like prestige television right there with Andor. Um, so I do think season two is better than season one. I think the back half of season two is better than the first half of season two.
Hmm.
And I think it's a beautiful tie-in to Rogue One, where Andor season two kind of leads off. But
Hmm.
I mean, Obi-Wan was a miss. Just terrible. I did not like Obi-Wan, Luke. Uh,
Obi-Wan was supposed to be a movie and it shows.
it
Obi-Wan was
shows.
supposed to be a
Yeah.
movie and it shows that like I like as much as I actually kind of like the show, I have a weird talent. I can enjoy a lot of things for what they are or what they try to be. And like Obi-Wan, I enjoyed it for what it was. I don't think I'm gonna ever rewatch it, but it's so obvious this was not supposed to be a show. It's so obvious they pretty much left everything in. And it makes that show makes some awkward decisions here and there. Sure,
Yes.
I still enjoyed the ultimate message. I still enjoyed like Ewan McGregor and his performance. I didn't mind feisty Leia, like wee Leia running around.
Yeah,
Like,
Leia wasn't the problem for me,
yeah, no,
actually, in
no.
that show.
Hmm.
I think that it was just the pacing,
Hmm.
and just the overall structure of the show just didn't work for me. But everything with
Yeah,
Luke and Vader, or Luke and Vader, Vader and Obi-Wan was great. I think
yes,
that stuff works.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Acolyte didn't like. I didn't even finish Acolyte. It just got on
I
my
still
nerves.
haven't seen that. I
It's not
still,
great.
yeah.
Boba Fett was so bad they had to turn that into like a Mandalorian season two and a half. Skeleton Crew actually was good. I actually did enjoy Skeleton Crew. But it's
Hmm.
like so many of these shows, like the Vision show, I mean, it's fine. I don't really care for it. Bad Batch, I started, didn't, I fell off the Bad Batch. Tales of the Empire, eh. So it's like I, Star Wars is that franchise that was just made for the big screen,
Yeah,
and you don't feel that like with the Mandalorian Grogu movie. That
coming
trailer
next year.
was,
Coming next
I,
year, yeah.
yeah, coming next year. The trailer didn't do anything for me.
Like I think, well, it is only a teaser trailer, and like I think just like the sense what I got from it, I was like, okay, like I'm intrigued. Like, Did we need a movie about Mandalorian and Grogu? No,
No, we didn't. No.
but if the movie delivers on what this teaser seems to be promising, and it's going to be like a good old-fashioned adventure, that it's not going to be like any massive world building, and just give us like like one mission kind of thing, like kind of like Indiana Jones, The Mummy, or something like good old-fashioned adventure, right? Where you have some laughs, where you have some action. Hey, I'm down with it. I'm down with it, but I hope that's what they do. I can see Disney trying to, like do the Marvel route and like, hey, we need to establish 10,000 characters in this movie alone because we need to greenlit 10,000 sequels and spin-offs and other shows. And I hope they don't do that. So it will it will see we will see how great or not this bit will age when the Grogu the Mandalorian is out and we actually get to see what it is about.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like but to your point, the Vision, I would defend. Like, look, do I care much about it? Not like it's not my favorite Star Wars thing. However, this is what it should be. Like, this is what I've always been shouting about. Give other creators and other studios access to your IP, Disney, and let people cook. Let people do different stuff with Star Wars. Let the creatives they have different animation style. Let them animate it for a movie or for a season or whatever. Why not? Like some of these like animations are breathtaking, and some of these like you can see the concept being actually a movie or a TV show, and it would be great. But you need to sometimes outsource stuff.
Yep.
But yeah.
I'm, I'm with you. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, I think we went kind of all over the place with this
Yeah,
hot
we
take.
did.
But it's fine. That's fine. This is all over the place, the podcast. So all good, sir. So I think now we can move to the flex part of this podcast, where I'll ask
Right.
you, Rod, what is the last new movie you would rate 5 out of 5? So anything 2020s.
The last movie I actually gave a 5 out of 5 to, I was looking at my letterbox yesterday, was The Long Walk. Stephen King's or the adaptation of The Long Walk.
Nice.
Beautiful film. Was not ready for how depressed I would be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is really well acted. The performances, especially from David Johnson and Cooper Hoffman, are just
Mm-hmm.
some of the year's best. So yeah, I'll go with The Long Walk. That movie, that it's my second favorite film of the year.
What is the first one?
Sinners.
Same, same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Sinners is just that was a life-changing experience myself, just personally, because I'm a big Ryan Coogler fan, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid of now. I'm like, I don't know if Ryan Coogler can make anything better than what he just did with Sinners. But if he
Yeah.
does, I mean, Jesus. So I love Sinners so much though, and the Long Walk came very very close, but um. it's a different type of experience in Sinners is right. Like with the
Yeah.
long walk, and I was afraid too, like Lucas, because it's just guys walking for 2 hours. And I'm like, how am I gonna get affected by this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a gut punch of a movie, Luke, and it's one where I said I probably will never be able to watch again. So
Oh, I see. I
I
see. So
will, but it's tough. It's
yeah.
that was
So I hear great things about it, but I haven't caught it in a cinema, so I need to wait until it hits streaming. But I hear good stuff about Long Walk, so I am intrigued. But to your point about Sinners and Ryan Coogler, same. But I am fairly certain he will, top this. But if this becomes, his masterpiece, magnum opus, damn, that's a pretty great fucking movie to
exactly.
have that in your filmography. So yeah, and but yeah, so I cannot really comment on a Long Walk because I haven't seen it, but I hear good things, and I hear many people, and all the Stephen King adaptations we've had so far, and there's been a fuck ton, like a metric fuck ton.
Oh yeah.
Like this, like it seems to be ranked quite high for many people, like and we are, and those adaptations are up against some heavy hitters like Shawshank Redemption, like Stand By Me, like Misery, like
The
I'm
first It
forgetting
movie. Yeah.
the first, yeah, like first in movie, like I'm forgetting five other great movies, like Green Mile, yeah, like so
I'm not
for
gonna
that
lie.
movie, yeah, tell me.
This might be my favorite adaptation, Stephen King adaptation.
I have already heard one or two people I follow on Letterboxd say something similar.
This
So
might
I
be
am
my
not
favorite.
actually surprised. I am not surprised because I know many people who were very affected by this movie.
Yeah, this movie, I had to like call my mom after this. I was like, I just needed to talk to my mom. I was like,
Mhm,
ooh, because it really hit me in a places I just didn't expect it to emotionally,
mhm,
and
mhm,
to get this invested, the brutality is what I did not expect. Because like
mhm,
there's imagery here, Luke, where I was just like, holy shit,
yeah.
they went there. And
Mhm,
it kind of starts with a gut punch too, just Cooper Hoffman talking to his mom, getting
mhm,
dropped out before the long walk starts, and it's powerful, and the score is fantastic, and yeah, whew, I'm like getting emotional just thinking about it. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
it's one of my favorite films, not just of the year, but of the decade. Yeah,
Okay.
it's powerful. It's powerful stuff.
Again, like the moment it hits any streaming service, I subscribe to. I'm definitely putting it on. Like I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see it for myself and see how much of an impression it makes on me. Like
Please tell me what you think about it when you watch it. Please tell me.
oh, I will. Oh, I will.
Yeah,
Okay, so what is the last quote unquote teen movie you rate 5 out of 5? So anything between 2003 and 2019.
2003 and 2019. Okay.
Yes.
Avengers Endgame, hands down.
Mm,
So I can go on a long soapbox about my love of Marvel, everything like that. I grew up with Marvel,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
reading comics, things of that nature. I've just been a big fan of the MCU my entire freaking life,
mm-hmm,
or really since my entire life, since it started. Um, and Endgame just was not just like another movie for me. It was kind of just like closure on a point in my life that I'm so grateful for.
mm-hmm,
Like the Infinity Saga came at a point in my life where I kind of like I needed it
mm-hmm,
because it started around the time when I had been in Georgia for a couple of years already, but I wasn't making like a ton of friends, and so I was still kind of knee deep in my comic books. Marvel had started, or the MCU had started, and that first Iron Man movie came out and was just it was great, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And to see where the MCU had came up into that point between Iron Man and Endgame, it had come a long way. So in
Yep.
a good way.
Yep.
And from being like this grounded origin story about a guy, just fighting for his company to bringing half the universe back, right? It's like, holy shit. But
Yep.
with Endgame, it's so much more than that. It's like I grew up with the OG6
Mm-hmm,
Avengers,
mm-hmm,
and to see how all of them got closure, Like I said, it was closure for me at that point in my life where I was able to say like goodbye to these characters that helped me get through some tough times in my life.
Hmm.
Because I didn't really start finding like my friends, my people till like high school, college years. Like middle school was rough for me. Middle school
Yeah.
was rough.
Hmm.
'Cause I feel like middle school is rough for a lot of people. Like middle school was just rough for me with the bullying and all that stuff. So I didn't, or being with the wrong crowd. So I would always fall back in with Marvel and comics and the MCU. And yeah, it was just, I don't think, I still think, I think that, I don't think I've cried more in a film than Avengers Endgame.
Hmm.
Tony's death, Luke, let me tell you, you want like, if you were to look at me when Endgame came out that opening night, you'd be like, "Are you okay?" Like I was just a mess,
Yeah.
and I still stand by to this day, Luke, that Avengers Endgame had Marvel not continued on with like Far From Home and Phase 4 onward, I would have been perfectly fine with the MCU having been done with Endgame, and then they just start something new like 5 years later. I
Yeah.
think 'Cause I do think I've said this on a podcast before. Like I think the Russos did too good of a job providing closure for people
Hmm.
because even my friends like who aren't the biggest film fans, but like they'll still watch like the big blockbuster stuff. They aren't as invested in Marvel like they were when the Infinity Saga was out.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
like I said, I know I can go on for like another half hour about my soapbox. I don't want this entire episode to be like an Endgame episode, but I'm very passionate about Marvel and the MCU.
Hmm.
And Endgame to me is just part of the reason why I love movies and why I love the comic book genre so much. It kind of
No.
gave me everything I wanted.
Yeah. It sounds like it means a lot for you. Yeah. Like you have has a special place in your heart.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Endgame, it's hard to argue with Endgame because like this, we live in such a splintered kind of society, kind of weird thing where there's no longer many people are not watching the same thing. Many people are like in the like because of a lot of streaming services, a lot of different views and all that. A lot of people have like formed different like bubbles in a way where it's like but Avengers Endgame was one of the last few things where I can remember many people have been on a same wavelength. Where yeah, if you haven't seen it that weekend, what were you doing, right? Like if you have not seen it within at least or that week, like you were not part of all the conversations. Like same thing, it was that same weekend where Game of Thrones ended. It was the same, and obviously people remember that for different reason altogether.
The funny thing is that got overshadowed by Endgame. Like
Yeah,
it's crazy. And I'm glad you said that because my parents who are not big Marvel fans and they haven't seen all the Marvel movies. I think my mom's probably seen more than my dad has. But even they were like, "Hey, don't take me during the weekend, but take us during the week, like sometime during the week."
yeah.
So I remember taking it was like a Monday or Tuesday. I took them to go see Endgame, like a 4 or 5 6 o'clock showing, something like that.
Hmm.
And even my parents like, yeah, that was pretty good. And my dad was
Hmm.
like, yeah, that was. My dad falls asleep during most movies, but like he had some things to take away from. Like he got excited, like because oh, we got a black Captain America now. And my mom was like, wow, that was really good.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
for a 3 hour movie, like Disney doesn't do 3 hour movies, Luke. We know
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
And the fact that they let Marvel do a 3 hour movie, because it needed that.
Hmm.
It needed that 3 hours to tell its story. So,
Hmm.
but you're right. That is one of the last few times like the world can come together and just like be here for this moment. I remember like I think it was CNN or Fox News. Even they were talking about like people like being their opening night. People that's like they have like correspondents at movie theaters talking to fans. I'm like,
Hmm.
what is CNN and Fox News doing at movie theaters this late talking? And I don't know if you had the same experience, Luke, of just theaters adding on showtimes throughout the day. Where I remember the Friday I went to like it was like a 9:30 showing or something of Endgame.
Hmm.
It had even been like 12, 13 hours before my opening night showing. Because I went back, I think I watched that movie every day for about a week straight. And I had seen
Wow.
it. Oh, Luke, I had probably saw that movie in theaters probably about 40 plus times.
Oh,
Um,
that's how it made all the money then from you.
Yes, it made most of the money for me. Absolutely. I can still show you most of my ticket stubs and all like screenshots and stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because I went back for the re-release when they added the additional footage, thinking I was gonna see some new stuff, and it really wasn't anything new except for like that Hulk deleted scene and the Far From Home opening scene. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that movie. If you're gonna ask me like the most important movies of my life, Endgame is probably number one. I mean, it's my
We'll see.
favorite film of all time, but it's probably one of if not the most important film of my life, just for who I am as a person,
Hmm.
what I love.
Hmm.
So yeah, and and then, yeah, you just got me thinking when you said like that transcendent, like that communal experience of
Hmm.
just everyone being on the same wavelength because we don't have that anymore, Luke. We just don't.
I can only think of one after Endgame, and which was the Barbenheimer thing. Well, Barbie and Oppenheimer. That was like as close as we've gotten it, but I
No
still
Way
don't
Home
think.
too. No Way Home. No, I
Yeah,
think
No
No Way
Way
Home.
Home. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Even though here, like at least, like I think in America it was much bigger than it was here. Like even like
Probably
No
yes.
Way Home, but Barbenheimer was big here, even in the
Yes.
UK. Not maybe not as big as like the Endgame thing, sure, but that was the closest I can remember in the past Endgame and like past COVID. That was the definitely Barbenheimer was that that weekend was great.
I actually have a shirt. I might have to show you after we stop recording, but I have a Barbenheimer shirt.
Nice.
That was a great weekend, for sure. Because cause I saw Oppenheimer three times for opening weekend, and then I saw Barbie once.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, we don't have many of those things. Because it goes back to the whole streaming thing and COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Of
Mm-hmm.
COVID changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
People no longer go to the movies just to go to the movies. If it's not a event, people aren't going to the movies anymore. That's just it, Luke.
Yep. Yep. And I thought about or talked about this before as well on this podcast. Steven Spielberg said something similar like 2009, 10. There's an old interview where he predicted like, cinemas will eventually be just for the biggest of blockbusters. Back then there was not even like MCU. Like it was like but he there was already like comic book movies. So he was like, affect heavy movies, like the biggest like Transformers, like comic book movies, but like the dramas and all the real life things, they will move to the TV. And he said that in like 2010. I remember reading the interview with him 2010. And I was like, yeah, nowadays not many people show up for your drama or comedy because like, hey, why? Like, I don't need a big screen. I'll just wait until it's on my streaming platform in 2 months, right? I'll watch it in my comfort of my home, nice big TV, nice big, sound. Yeah. And unfortunately, as much as it pains me, it seems like yeah, many people are like, cinema? Yeah, unless it's something very big, don't care.
Well, to that point, because I'm sure you guys have like your own type of theater service, subscription service where you can like see a number of movies per week and
Yes,
stuff. So
yes.
I have that with AMC, the AMC A-list service where we can see up to four movies a week now. For it's like $30 a month, and so basically one movie covers my trip to the movies,
Hmm.
basically.
Hmm.
But we have to remember, I think us film fans sometimes forget especially if you have families, it's just too expensive to go to the movies now.
That's the other thing. Yes, yes.
Because like tickets alone are $20,
Hmm.
and then you got to buy concessions, so that's close to $100.
Hmm.
It's just so why would you go see I'll take like a comedy like a Neighbors or something
Hmm.
when 2 weeks later I got this big Marvel movie coming. I'm gonna save my money for that. I'm not gonna go for a comedy. I'll just wait a couple weeks later, go take my
Yeah.
family to see the big Marvel film.
And I know people who wait for like, when any movie hits like Amazon Prime or whatever, and they just rent it for like 20 bucks, right? Like, 20 pounds or $20, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I would never do that. Fuck this. Like, I'll wait until if it's on streaming, I'll stream it for free. But then I thought about it. I'm like, wait, but if it's a family, like you say, family of 4 or 5, it's still much cheaper for them to sacrifice that, 20 bucks and watch it at home than, do it, and
Yeah, because you can
actually
cook
go.
something at home or get
Yes,
snacks from the store, and
yes,
there you
yes,
go.
yes.
Because
So
especially
it's
because we all have big screen TVs now, we got great sound systems, all this. It's just
yeah, yeah.
COVID, I think, just sped up the process to where we are now.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%, like 100%, like it was already happening, but
Yeah,
like COVID definitely like kicked it into another gear, unfortunately. But yeah,
it did.
but yeah. But anyway, let's move on. So we don't have. But there was again Avengers Endgame, great pick. That
Can I
high.
ask you a question?
Sure.
Because I'm not sure where your like love of Marvel is at this point
Mm-hmm.
now, but do you agree with me that Endgame was fine, would have been good for you had it been the last one, or because like I don't get me wrong, I love a lot of stuff Marvel has come out with since Endgame has come out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Multiverse Saga has been anywhere near as good as the Infinity Saga, but I don't think it's been as bad as what people have been saying either. But
Yes,
would you have been okay with Endgame being it? Or
100%.
okay.
Look, I'm on the same page. I literally, I'm not trying to copy you, but if you check my letterboxd for the post Endgame Marvel movies, I'm usually a bit higher on them than your average person. So, like, I can enjoy Marvels. I can enjoy many other things. Like, like I'm fine. But especially with the hindsight we have right now, yeah, many people would have been happier if they just finished. But that machine is just made so much money, and when your movie becomes number one movie of all time, you don't just stop. That's not how Hollywood works. That's not how capitalism works. So, like, unfortunately, there was no reason for them to stop. But yeah, no, I feel like if they would, and then waited like a year or two, and then be like, hey, we are starting something new, that would be a way how to hype up people. They would, I feel like there genuinely would be a way how to hype up nowadays because we've seen them all. We've seen it all. But like, we haven't seen a studio where like, hey, we're not releasing anything new. Give us 2 weeks. Not weeks, two
Give us
years.
2 weeks.
No, that's what we see now. That's what we see now. Give us 2 weeks.
Yes.
All right. But no, like if MCU puts out a statement tomorrow, hey, after this Avengers, the latest Avengers we're gonna see next year, right? We're not gonna do any new movie until 2028. People will be like, what the fuck? Okay.
So I had that thought with Endgame of like, here's the reasonable part of me of like, you end with Endgame, you have
Hmm.
Far From Home as your epilogue in 2019. That's fine.
Hmm. Hmm.
Give it like 3 or 4, give it maybe 5 years even.
Hmm.
Let us sit because I feel like we didn't really get to sit with the effects of Endgame because like a lot of heavy stuff happens in that movie,
Hmm.
and we kind of just I mean I know we had a year off technically because of COVID where
Yeah.
they pushed everything back, but that still didn't feel like enough time
Hmm.
to really just sit with the after effects of what we really just experienced of like Cap retired, Natasha died,
Hmm.
Tony died, the
Hmm.
Avengers are no more. It's like so much happens in that movie to really feel the effect. I feel like we need to like just sit with that for like more than the 2 years we sat with, like the year we kind of had of no Marvel. I feel like we need to wait till like 2022, 2023 to really feel those effects and then get people back on board. So I'm with you on like 5 years would have been good. So with Doomsday and Secret Wars, though, I think it's different.
Hmm.
I think after Secret Wars, I think you kind of need to start right away just to kind of keep that momentum because the momentum is not the same as where it was with Infinity War and Endgame came out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like with once Secret Wars comes out in 2027, I think you wait until like the May or June, I think it is of 2028, and then you release X-Men, and then you kind of just you hit the ground running.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think Marvel just got a little too cocky and like, oh, let's just pump out all these shows, let's pump out all these
Yes.
movies,
Yes.
and
Yeah. They will
it,
watch it, right? They will watch it. They love us. They will watch anything. And then they're like, oh, never mind. They
they
won't.
oversaturated us. And
Yes.
Feige has even said we learn from our mistakes. I don't even think Feige, in my heart of hearts, I don't think really wanted to do anything on the Disney Plus. I really don't think so. So I think now we're gonna start seeing, especially when we get to this new saga, like a lot of different. The shows aren't gonna mean as much to the larger picture of the
Hmm.
MCU as they did before. Like no more Falcon Winter Soldiers, things of that nature. It's probably gonna be like Daredevil. Yeah, it's in the MCU, but you don't need to have. It's not as important to the overall story
Yes.
as the movies are. So I think we're
Because
gonna start seeing
again,
that more and more.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like they are finally understanding that, if it feels like a homework show, people will not watch it. Like, but
Yes.
if it's its own thing, like Moon Knight was its own thing, and it was pretty good.
Yes. We need more of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or even Miss Marvel introduced Kamala, and introduced Miss Marvel, but you can watch it. You don't have to watch that to watch Marvels, right? Yes, if you don't watch it without watching Marvels, you'll be a bit confused from the start. But then the movie speaks on its own. Like you don't have to. But so I feel like Marvel should definitely do more of its stuff. Like, hey, you can watch this on its own. It's fine. You don't need a homework.
But then
But
what they'll probably, and I think what they'll probably start doing is for the people who did watch the shows, have like a nice little Easter egg or a little mention in one of their big event movies. Like,
yes,
oh, if you watch it, you get this kind of emotional payoff.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, yeah. I think that's hopefully the road they will go to, but I don't know. Like,
I'm sorry.
and
I didn't mean to make this a Marvel conversation.
no,
I'm
no,
sorry.
it's okay. It's all right. I'm enjoying this, so I'm all good. But
Yeah.
anyway, so what is the last quote unquote adult movie he would rate 5 out of 5? So anything between 2002 and 1975.
I'm gonna. It's tough because they both came out the same year, and they're
Hmm.
both in my top five films of all time.
Okay.
So it's kind of a tie. Forrest Gump and Lion King.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lion King is my favorite animated film of all time.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, that movie means like Marvel. Lion King, that whole franchise just means a lot to me because like I said, I grew up just loving that first film. That first film is just, it's epic. We don't have to, we don't get a lot of big epic animated films. I feel like Lion King still kind of holds true to that value.
Hmm.
Uh, the soundtrack is great. It's literally a film, Luke, where I don't have any flaws at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect film. Like you can nitpick Endgame with like the time travel and all that stuff, but like with Lion King, I honestly don't think there's a single flaw in that movie. And
Hmm.
same holds true with Forrest Gump as well. I think
Hmm.
Forrest Gump is one of the greatest films ever made as well. Like, it's probably, I think it's my number four film, number three or four film of all time.
Hmm.
Um, I love the character.
Hmm.
I love his journey and kind of how his journey weaves in with historical events. Especially like I always laugh at the Elvis stuff when he meets Elvis and just his toxic relationship with Jenny. Oh boy. Or his beautiful relationship with his mom, or
Hmm.
that beautiful friendship he builds with Lieutenant Dan, and his time in Vietnam. It's God, there's so many quotable lines. It's just a beautiful film.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful. I can't say it's slice of life because it's a big portion of his life. Because we could
Hmm.
childhood to, I don't know, 30s maybe. I guess he's in his
I
30s by the
think
time
so.
the movie's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
30s, 40s, I think. Yeah.
30s, early 40s. So yeah, Forrest Gump and Lion King for sure are the two films. I know kind of, I know you said one film, but I had to go with both, Lion King and
That's good.
Forrest Gump.
That's no, no, that's good. The more the merrier. So like, so Lion King, I've only seen the original. I've only seen once because I didn't, for some reason, I didn't grow up with that. But I've always
Okay.
heard many people loving that, and I finally watched it when I was like 19, 18, and I loved it. It was great. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I see why. I can see. And Forrest Gump, it's a weird one for me because I like it. I'm not saying I don't. I do like it.
Hmm.
I think I rated it like 8 out of 10. So like I like it. But I think for me it was overhyped because I would always see it like very high on all the like best movies ever lists, right? So I was waiting for that
I hate when that
something,
happens.
yeah, and I was
Yeah.
waiting for that something special to hit me, and like the movie is again, I like it, but it just never felt special. But I will say this: I've only seen it one time, and I was 16, 17, maybe not even that. So I'm definitely due for a rewatch to kind of, watch it with my more cinephile brain now when I've seen more movies and more great movies, like how it plays in 2025, 2026. So I'm definitely due for a rewatch,
I
especially
hope you
for
do.
Forrest
Yeah.
Gump, because I would love to be where many, like I'm the outsider in this conversation. Many people are on your island. Many people are like, oh yeah, Forrest Gump is one of the best movies of all time, and I've always wanted to know why. So like I do need to rewatch it. It's been a moment.
The Lion King thing too. Like I don't know if you've watched any of like the sequels of the live action films. So
Yeah.
I've actually seen the Broadway show. I saw the Broadway show for the first time in 2019, and that was an amazing experience. And I actually got to play Mufasa in a summer camp play, so that was kind
Nice.
of cool too. I didn't die actually, so that was really fun also.
Ooh,
But
that's
yeah,
what a twist.
I know what a twist. But like I love Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. It's straight to DVD sequel. Lion King 1.5 I enjoy.
Hmm.
Um, the 2019 live action remake I don't hate as like a lot of other people do, but I understand its flaws. I like half of that movie.
Hmm.
I think the first half is stronger than the second half.
Hmm.
Um, and then I actually, is that last year it came out?
Yeah,
I think it
last
was
year.
last year. Mufasa, the like I
Hmm.
love that. I'm unapologetic about it. I love Mufasa. I love that
Oh,
movie. I did. It just felt like a classic Disney adventure. Just when I was sitting in that theater, just kind of brought out the Disney kid in me again because I'm a big Disney guy. So yeah, that I love Mufasa.
so for like I think I've seen one of the direct to DVD sequels, and I thought it was fine. And yeah, the live action stuff, I've seen them both,
Hmm.
and both I don't hate them, but both to me were like fine. Like one of the most okay movies I've ever seen okayed on a screen. And especially the second one, I was kind of more hyped up because Barry Jenkins was behind it. I'm like, hey, this guy, this like indie guy, drama guy, wants
Right.
to do Mufasa. Okay, let me see that, spin on that. And then I watched the movie, I'm like, I'm sorry, but this felt very generic for this kind of brain behind it, where I'm like, I kind of can see the Disney machine rather than Barry Jenkins. And I think that was my that and also like look, the animation, the CGI, as good as we make it, which I think it was pretty good. It's hard to feel any sympathy or empathy towards these creatures when they try to emote because when they try to emote, that's the beauty of the animation. Like,
Yes.
you can make them much more emotional. You can make them do crazy weird stuff, but with the lifelike CGI, it just feels wrong and just feels weird and it just feels uncanny. Excuse me. So that always kind of takes me out of both of those movies, where it's like, I don't.
I think the Mufasa film, for me at least,
Tell me.
improves upon that immensely. Because I think the 2019, that's my biggest problem with the 2019 film is like I'm not buying the emotions or anything. I think the first half they try their best with the kids,
Hmm.
when they're when they're young cubs, but then when they're full when Simba grows up, I'm like I'm not buying this anymore. I think what saves that film for me is the Timon and Pumbaa
Hmm.
dynamic. I think that's the best part of that movie, along with its. I mean, it visually it's gorgeous. It is. You can't
Hmm.
deny it. Like I think that's
Yes.
we can all agree on. It's visually
Yeah.
stunning.
Yeah.
Almost too visually stunning to you know,
Like for me,
like
minus the animals, minus some of the like especially the facial features when they try to
yeah.
emote. Like I would disagree there, but like overall visually, no, yeah, I would like people have worked hard on that movie and it shows to an extent, to a large extent, yeah.
So yeah, and I think for me, like I said, I think the Mufasa movie improves upon that with the emotions and everything.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think what hurt the Mufasa film for me is just the giving us origins to origins we didn't need. Like I didn't need the origin about Pride Rock was formed. I didn't need that.
That is the other thing. It was like
Yeah.
movie was trying to pretend, oh, this random cup is not Scar, right? We do the thing like Star Trek Into Darkness. Let's pretend this is not Khan, right? Oh
Even though
yeah,
they said Khan later.
yeah,
Yeah.
and even like Khan, I'm like, oh yeah, what a twist. We haven't seen that coming at all. And that's the other thing, right? Like we know there had to be a Scar. We know there had to be this. Why just try to be all secretive about it when it's a fucking prequel? Like that's one thing I don't understand with the anybody making prequels. Instead of trying to be all, hey, maybe this person who's very important to the story won't show up. No, just own up to it. It's like, oh yeah, this is obviously this younger version of it. Let's have fun with it. Whereas like that was my other problem with Mufasa. I was like, I was trying to play it so hard. It's like, oh no no, this is not Scar. This is not Scar. And then he gets the Scar, and it's like, hey, hello, buddy. Good to see you. It's just like, and again, like for me, but the biggest problem for me was there was lack of Barry Jenkins. Like you could tell me this was directed by Mr. Tom, Dick, and Harry, and I would believe you. I don't like. I love me some Barry Jenkins.
I felt the Barry Jenkins stuff in kind of the
Really?
smaller in the smaller moments.
Okay.
But yeah, I would. That's. I'm glad you mentioned that because I don't think I throughout the entire picture. Yeah, you. If you didn't tell me who the director was, I would not have believed it was Barry Jenkins. But
Yes.
I believe in some like the smaller moments or
Hmm.
more emotional moments. I did feel kind of Barry Jenkins style, but overall as a film, yeah, I would not have believed that Barry Jenkins directed. I would have been like,
Yeah.
oh, John Favreau made that again. Yeah,
See, that's exactly. If
yeah,
had he told me, oh, he returned for a sequel, I'd be like, yeah, kind of feels like it. And then you see Barry Jenkins, like, what?
yeah.
But yeah. Anyway,
Listen,
what? Yeah, tell me.
he got the Disney paycheck. That's what happened.
That's
Yeah.
the only thing I'm happy that he did it. I was like, look, I don't know we need this movie. Like even when it was just announced, right? But I'm like, look, if Barry Jenkins wants to make some Disney money, let him make some Disney money, and then he can go back to whatever he wants. Like
Hmm.
he is one of those directors. Like, hey, if he wants to do this, I'll be watching
Yep.
because he definitely has my attention.
Oh yeah.
So, what is the last quote unquote old movie you would rate 5 out of 5? So, anything 1974 and older.
Uh, okay. See, now this one, you
Mm,
had me struck because I was like, I just missed the cutoff for Jaws because Jaws was 75, and I was like,
yeah, yeah,
damn,
I know.
you got me. You got me. I feel like you did it on purpose
I
too.
wasn't even trying, but okay.
You were you okay? Okay, 'cause I was like, he is really trying here. So here's my thing. I don't like a lot of per se older films like 70s
Yeah.
backwards. It just they don't speak to me
Hmm.
the way a lot of like films like 80s, 90s onward do.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, that being said, I also haven't seen a lot of films like 70s
Yeah.
that, you know,
Hmm.
so I'm trying to I think the last film though I would say like 70s, I guess 70, because I think this was 74, was Godfather Part 2.
Yeah, that's even earlier. Yeah, that counts. Yeah, yeah,
So
100%.
yeah, I'll probably say both the Godfather films. For some reason, I thought when I was doing my research the other day, I was like, I thought they were like 70s, 80s, but
Hmm.
like late 70s, early 80s, but they're so I was able to get that one. But yeah, I would probably say the first two Godfather films. And
Hmm.
it's funny because my mom was a big influence on me growing up watching films, just like telling me to watch certain things. And one of the films I was able to watch at a young age was Godfather, and I wasn't understanding it all
Hmm.
at the time, but I was just appreciating kind of more of the performances and things of that nature. I've always been Godfather Part Two is a perfect film. I don't think there's a single flaw with the
Hmm.
Godfather Part Two, even with its over 3.5 hour runtime.
Hmm.
Long, but I don't think you feel it with the
Hmm.
Godfather Part Two, Luke.
Hmm.
But it's what impresses me more too with the Godfather Part Two, Luke, is its way it weaves between its timelines and it doesn't confuse you at all.
Yeah,
And it still
yeah.
tells a cohesive story. I feel like now we get a lot of like non-linear storytelling in movies, and it can get confusing.
Hmm.
But the Godfather part, especially part two, is such a perfect film. I'm curious, like, would you say part two or part one is better for you?
See, I'll say neither because I have seen them all. Well,
Okay.
all three. But it's one of those movies I've seen when I was too young.
Yeah.
So like it was genuinely like one of the first movies when I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'll probably go into this hobby as my actual hobby. Like, and watched all the Godfathers in like one weekend. And when I was like 12 or
Oh,
13.
oh man, that's a weekend. Wow.
And again, I was like 12 or 13, so I didn't think I understood everything, the complexity of and obviously I didn't even understand like the cinematic value, the quality of that. So talk about needing to rewatch something. That's a trilogy, especially the first two. I need to rewatch. How they are, the 4Ks are on my shelf because I am also a collector, so it is on my shelf, just waiting to be rewatched. And yeah, so for me, I cannot tell you. I remember some of it, some of the parts. So, but I need to get back. I need to rewatch them to actually fully form my thoughts on both first and second, and even the third, to be honest, because I do want to rewatch it now because I know many people, the third one is awful or supposed to be. And I remember it was definitely a step down, but I don't think it was nearly as bad as everybody says.
Yeah, it's more of a disappointment
Hmm.
than
Hmm.
actually it being an actual bad film. I don't think it's a bad film. It's more of a disappointing film.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause the first two are pretty much perfect. So
Hmm. That's yeah, I think that's yeah. So unfortunately, I cannot really contribute much besides saying yes, I've seen them, and I really liked both, especially the first two, and I need to like I think that's one of my goals in next year, 2026, is to rewatch those and give them the proper shake and see what happens.
it's funny too. I don't think I've liked anything else with Francis Ford Coppola except for the Godfather films. And because I
Ooh,
did go see Megalopolis in theaters.
that's
That
a
was actually
movie.
that was actually my first Francis Ford Coppola movie I've ever seen in theaters was Megalopolis because I wasn't even born when The Godfather came
Yeah.
out. So and I've missed the re-releases. So yeah, Megalopolis was my first Francis Ford Coppola movie, and I was just like, okay, this is an experience.
Hmm.
I don't hate this. I don't love it. I don't even know if I like this, but this is interesting.
It's definitely interesting. I'll say
Yeah,
this. I didn't have a great time with it. I liked some parts,
yeah.
but it's definitely one of those movies where it's like you can tell this director knows few things, but I think the way he tries to communicate what he's trying to do with this movie is not necessarily the most flattering one.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
This
Nope.
weird CGI scenes don't help anything, and
No.
it's like, instead of you being focused on immersed in this, oh, look at this beautiful new world, this prime city, it doesn't look, it looks very cheap.
Yes.
Some of the performances, I think that was the first time I've seen Giancarlo Esposito bad. Like, my dude, why
Yeah.
would they do this to you? Like, like that was the first time I'm like, this I would consider like, if not bad, like a mid performance by him, and he's usually great in everything I've seen him in.
Yeah,
And I'm
he's
like,
usually the standout and
yes,
everything.
exactly.
Yeah.
And here, like, his scenes are like, oh, I guess he gave you some note, like, to do this. So, like, I guess that's the reason. But Jesus, fuck, I wish he wouldn't.
You know, it's funny because actually I went to the bar and had a drink before I went to go watch this movie, and
Mhm.
I think alcohol might help in this situation. But yeah,
100%. Like, look, there's definitely, I can see this being a movie where it's like, gather a bunch of friends around, have a bottle of rum or a whiskey or whatever is your poison, and just have a shot every time something weird happens on a screen. Halfway through the movie, you're gonna be all on the floor.
you're gonna be drunk. Yep.
But no, it's, yeah, just Francis. I think he's made many great movies. Like, like obviously Apocalypse Now is another big one. Like, I really love the Rainmaker, but that's the thing. He hasn't made many movies since like the 90s. So that's the other thing. Like, so when every once in a while he does something, it's like, oh, hey, Francis is back, and he's like, oh, okay, he's back with this. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, let's pretend. Let's pretend we all like it. It's
You
just.
know, I am actually happy though that I did go see this in the theater.
Mhm.
I am just one because I respect Francis Ford Coppola as a director because
Yes.
he's made landmark films, and you know, and this was a passion project of his, and he put his own money up to make it. Which
Hmm.
I read the other day. Now he's like broke apparently, and he's selling off he's selling off his prized possessions just to make sure he's got a little, you know, buck in the bank.
Hmm.
But so that I mean that's unfortunate, but I applaud him just for getting this made. And you know, for the people who did go out and see it in theaters, I do applaud them. I do.
Like the two of us, because I saw it in the theaters too.
Yeah, you know, like I said, was it the best use of a Friday night? Maybe not, but hey, I went and saw it anyway. So
Yeah. And again, like, like, I admire the passion and I admire the fact that he put up his own money. On the hindsight, I feel like he himself probably wishes he would at least, kept maybe half of the money. You know,
I don't think anyone was really supporting this though. I don't think
that's the other thing.
he didn't
Yeah.
have a lot of backers.
Well,
So
not even that. Not even that. I read an article. He had to pay distributors to distribute the movie.
yep. Hmm.
Usually it's the other way around. Usually the distributors fucking buy it from you. So not only he lost money in the cinemas, he lost money trying to fucking show it in the cinemas. Like, it's like that. It's never been done. And like, look, it's good for like visionary filmmakers to try something new, but some things are done for a reason. And if you need to pay people on theaters to show your movie, let alone, unlike when how it actually works, you might want to reconsider what's happening. You might want to reconsider. Just that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, I would reconsider. I would have reconsidered the way he kind of went about it, but yeah, I just applaud him for even getting it made.
Same. I just wish he wouldn't gone bankrupt making it, because
Yeah,
like
that's an unfortunate thing.
I don't like to see this giant of a cinema just like now struggling for money, and it's, yeah, it is not pleasant. The movie, as much as I wasn't my vibe, I am, again, I'm appreciative it was made, but I
There's
kind
good
of,
concepts here. There's good concepts in there
yes,
for sure. Yeah.
but I kind of wish he would have found a way to make it much cheaper. If he had to put up his own money, like, at least don't make it for like 100 million, make it for
Yeah.
like 20, maybe 10.
Yeah, this movie did not need the like 120, $130 million budget. And it
Nope.
ended up being it didn't.
100% not. No.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you tipped your hand earlier, so I think I know where we're going, but I'll ask it anyway. What is your favorite movie decade?
2010s. 2010s.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. I think 2019 is probably the best year for films.
Mm-hmm.
With like 2014, 2018 kind of being right behind.
Mm-hmm.
There's some I just think the 2010s has just been was a phenomenal decade. I call it the golden age of just a lot of good stuff. I mean, I'm just gonna name some films. I mean, like, how do you not, I'll just name like non-comic book films.
Mm-hmm.
Parasite.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Whiplash.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another 2019 film I love. Irishman. Martin Scorsese's Irishman. It's
Yep.
fantastic. The Wolf of Wall Street, another Martin Scorsese film I love.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just naming off. I'm just naming off a few. I just think 2010s for me was just this landmine of just pure excellence of cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Rush. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Rush with Chris Hemsworth and
Yes.
Daniel Bruhl. Great
Yes.
film.
It is.
I also think 2010 was just the perfect decade for comic book movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think the comic book genre was at its peak at that point. A lot of that because of Marvel. Uh, but yeah, so yeah, 2010's for me.
That's again, that's hard to argue. Because yeah, like as you say, like now we obviously figure out many things that work, so the highs are so high.
Yes,
And so you get a lot of stuff, so that also helps. Like you get, nowadays we get like what 1,000 movies new movies every year at least.
oh yeah,
So there's a plenty to choose from. But yeah, no, like 2010s, like Interstellar is another great one. Like Arrival, like high concept sci-fi movies. Just you know,
Sicario,
Cigar.
one of my
Yeah,
favorite.
exactly.
Loves
Denis
Gone Girl. Yeah.
yeah, Denis Villeneuve, like, Gone, yeah. Again, like, we can name, like, banger after banger. I think we are still not far removed, so I'm always cautious about, like, that. But, like, you cannot deny just on paper, if you go year by year, like 2011, 2012, 2013, you will find some great, great, great movies. Like,
hmm
it's hard to argue with 2010s. And, you know, are there problems in modern day Hollywood and like like way we make movies today? Sure, yes. Like I personally don't like the digital stuff. I personally don't like how many movies look the same, and that's why those movies like something like Whiplash stands out because it looks a bit different than any other movie. Something like Birdman stands out because it is shot different than any other movie we get, and that's why like you have these like extraordinary people step out and like, hey, I'll do this differently. And sometimes it doesn't work, Megalopolis. Sometimes it does work.
Hmm.
And yeah, it is hard to say anything bad about it, really.
Yep.
So, do you have any hot movie takes you would like to share with us?
You know, let me ask you. I'll say my one of my hot movie takes.
Tell me.
Uh, because he is admired so much in the film industry, and I respect him as a filmmaker. And I just watched his new movie last night.
Mhm.
I think PTA is a bit of an overrated director.
Ooh, damn, that is definitely a hot take. So,
I
I'm
I,
guessing you watched the one battle after another?
I did. I'm saying I really enjoyed it.
Okay, okay.
I really, really enjoyed it. I kind of where you felt with the hype, you felt the hype with Forrest Gump was kind of what I
Mm-hmm.
just had with One Battle After Another.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, people were proclaiming this as the best film of the decade,
Yeah.
best film of the 21st century. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it. It's still really good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But and it's one it is a film I need to sit with. That's a lot of PTA films. I just need to sit with for like
Yes.
a few days just to like really get my thoughts in get my ducks in the row. But yeah, I looked through his filmography and like I appreciate a lot of the things in these movies. I just don't see it for myself personally. I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
We put him on this pedestal of like a Nolan or a Denis Villeneuve or a Spielberg. I don't. Why are we putting him on that pedestal? I just don't see it.
I think for PTA, so for me personally, I think he is just one tiny step behind those people. Like I would definitely put him like up there when it comes to one of the most talented people we have working or directors working right now.
Absolutely.
100%, yes.
100%. Yeah.
Like I think neither of us say are is saying that he is a hack or he is not good. No, no, no.
No,
Yeah,
not
exactly,
by a long
exactly.
shot. Yeah,
Yes.
no.
But I think, like, yeah, if you look at it, like, he makes very specific movies he wants to make. And I think that's where he shines. It's nobody else can. It's kind of like he's almost like a Wes Anderson in a way, but for like a very serious dramas. Like, you know, nobody else can make Wes Anderson like movies. And to me, nobody else can make Paul Thomas Anderson movie because there's a specific type of vibe about all of his movies. Like, you know, I need to rewatch Boogie Nights, but I remember thinking that was a one hell of a movie. I definitely need to rewatch There Will Be Blood.
I
And
know,
one
I do love There'll Be Blood.
thing,
I love that movie. Yeah,
and with the one battle after another, I have the same issue as you. Like it was, I think, a bit too overhyped for me, which I where I still loved it. Like, you know, I'm on like a low side of loved it, but I'm almost there. But I'm like, I need to, but I also need to sit with it for a while, and I
I do.
definitely need to rewatch
Yeah.
it because it like there are sequences where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in, and there are some that's like, oh, I'm kind of out a bit, like it's just a tiny bit. I'm kind of out, and I want to rewatch it to gather my thoughts properly because my thoughts are not very coherent right now.
Yeah.
I know I really enjoyed it. Like I know again, I'm not hating on him. I'm not hating on a movie. I know I really enjoyed it. Like the chase sequence at the end
Oh, so good.
that was something I'm like, oh, so there is a way how to film a car chase sequence in a new, refreshing way. That, thank
Yeah.
you, PTA. So like that's great. That was great, and all this stuff with the daughter and the Leo and how you know what it means to be a father, what it doesn't, like a pride, you know, sense of
It's
like a
a
lot
great
of
father-daughter movie. It is a great
yes,
father-daughter.
and a lot
Yeah.
of again like a lot of like deep themes. Like it's you know there's a theme about all kinds of like I even written in my letterbox review. There's this movie deals with all kinds of power from a sexual power, from white power, from like you know power you know like the dynamics between like you know soldiers and like civilians, all kind of the power like you know and all and relationship and it's that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, there's so much layered into this movie with so not even that many characters. Where I'm like, I need to rewatch it to have a full grasp on it because I feel like many things have flown under, you know, above my head. But I'll tell you this, like Regina Hall in that movie,
So
she
good.
she's got like 10 minutes of screen time,
She
but
makes the
I
most of it.
yeah, first of all, she makes the most of it. Second, I genuinely hope she gets the Oscar nomination for her role because like she like left me with an impact. I'm like, damn, she's been there for like yeah, like this is a like you know what 3 hour, almost 3 hour movie. So yeah,
Hmm.
she's there for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes max, but she makes an impact, and I'm like, damn, this was one of my favorite characters of this year. You know,
I think so. My favorite ensemble of the year is still Sinners. Just
hmm
like from a pure acting perspective, I
yes,
think it's like Sinners, Long Walk, and I might put this at three. If I
okay,
was like just to rate like ensembles of the year,
hmm
I'll probably put this at like three or four. I do think this is one of the best active films of the year. No one in this movie is phoning it in.
no.
I mean, I you could make an argument for each actor or actress getting a nomination. I think Leo is
I
probably
think that
going to
will
get
happen.
one.
I think
Yeah,
that will happen. Yeah.
I think Leo's going to get one. Sean Penn is probably going to win it. Jesus, how great
It
was he? Oh my
seems to
God.
be like it seemed like still haven't seen quite a few movies. Like the Oscar baity stuff has still haven't come out yet. So like, but
Right.
it seems like you know many people are predicting him to be a winner. To be fair, rightly so. Like he was like you will
He's so
remember that
good.
awful son of a bitch,
Yeah.
and the way his character, what his journey is, and where he ends up without any spoilers. Holy shit, that's a one hell of a journey.
One hell of a journey. And then even more than Regina Hall, and I think Regina Hall's great.
Yes.
Chase Infinity kind of stole the show for me. She is so freaking good in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And because I heard a lot of things. I had seen her before in the Apple TV Plus show, Presumed Innocent. So I kind of already know a little bit about her
Mm-hmm.
going into this. But man, she's phenomenal. And like
She is
holding her
great.
own
Yeah.
against Sean Penn is fantastic. And it took me a minute to kind of buy into Leo as like
hmm
this stoner dude. I was like, I'm not buying it. I'm not buy okay, now I'm in. Benicio del Toro is great in his
Yes.
limited screen time. Uh, and the movie too is just really, it's really funny. It's a
hmm
very funny movie.
hmm
But yeah, I think I just need to sit with the movie for a while before I can really like make a clear judgment on how I feel about it.
No, same, honestly. And with the PTA, to your point, I think. if he were to retire now, he would still be regarded as one of the uh, best
He'd be
directors.
considered a top 10, top 15 director
Yes,
of all time.
yes.
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
especially just with There Will Be Blood and now this movie, and like some people, I know some people love Phantom Thread. I know some people love
That movie's a
The
bore.
Master.
Oh my God. I do not like Phantom Thread is a bore. I do not like that movie at all. Daniel Day-Lewis is great, but that movie is a bore.
I love, look, I liked the movie. I understand why, but again, that's one of those movies I understand why people can be bored by that. But I just, purely like this is what I meant when I said only he could make a movie about different kind of it's kind of like one battle after another. That movie deals with different kind of love and dependency and
Hmm.
it explores it very in a very PTA way where it's like we give this time. We many movies would this would be their B or C story. He makes that into a story, right?
Yep.
And we spend all the time on this one thing where you just watch the master like Daniel Day-Lewis, do his thing, and you're like, damn, he
Yep.
is a very good actor.
Very good
Like,
actor. Yep.
hot take, Daniel Day-Lewis, a very good actor. He knows what he's
That's
doing.
that's that's a hot take, man.
That
That's
is
a
a hot
hot
take,
take.
right? I
Woo.
know, right? Nobody
That's
ever
bold.
said this. Yes.
Yeah.
No, but so I like I don't think he's overrated, but I would say like it would definitely be just like a tiny step below the peak, the cream of the crop for me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is very hard to argue that his movies they look certain way, and he knows how to shoot a movie. Like technically, all his movies are excellent.
Technically, from a technical perspective, he's one of the best. I
Like
just
he's a
think for me,
director's director. He is like
yes.
like where fellow directors admire your work, you're doing something right.
Oh yeah. And I think for me, like my favorite of his is probably still There'll Be Blood, but I have a really soft I have a soft spot for Licorice Pizza. I love Licorice Pizza personally. Um,
Okay,
I
okay.
know that's probably maybe his most divisive film. That's because of his subject matter, probably maybe. I don't know, but
I think it's still Inherent Vice. I haven't seen Inherent Vice, but that seems to be the movie that
yeah.
many people hate. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good point. And I respect the master. I don't love the master. I think the master from an acting standpoint,
Hmm.
maybe might be his best well-rounded active film is the
Oh yeah,
master.
oh yeah.
I don't know, 'cause after I saw my battle after another, I might have changed my mind. But the
Hmm.
master, because like Amy Adams, Joaquin Phoenix, Phyllis, and just three
Just this trio alone.
phenomenal
Yeah.
performances.
Yeah.
Uh, that trio of actors there. So yeah, it's he's just I don't know if I can't even say acquired taste,
Hmm.
but he is the director's director, like you said. And I actually just bought his because I haven't seen it yet, Hard Eight, which was his first film he did in '96. I just
Yeah.
bought it, so I'm gonna probably try to find some time over the weekend or early in the week to watch it.
Hmm.
Because it's one of the few films I still haven't seen from him. So
I've seen it. That was one of my first PTA I've seen actually, and I really liked it. I thought it was good. Like, don't expect anything like high concept. I think this is his most quote unquote simple movie because this is his feature
yeah,
debut. But I thought it was very good. Like, but I only seen it once about 15, 16 years ago.
yeah,
So
it's
yeah.
and you know what? Now you're making me want to go back and rewatch Boogie Nights now because that's been a while since I've seen Boogie Nights too. So I kind
Exactly.
of want
I need to rewatch
yeah.
that. I need to rewatch that. I need to rewatch There Will Be Blood. And I finally need to watch Inherent Vice because that still is not streaming anywhere. So like I'm just patiently waiting. But there might be a point where I just put on my pirate hat on and then just like, and watch it like that. I don't know.
It's got that cult status now where it's like it's got its audience for sure. Yeah.
Like as far as I understand, that's the most of his like divisive movies. You either love it, what he does in that movie, or you absolutely despise it. Basically, there seems to be no middle ground with this movie.
Yeah.
It's just yeah,
I've
but
only seen it once also, so I maybe I will go back and rewatch that one too. But I
yeah.
definitely now I'm because I kind of want to do like a double feature of Magnolia and Boogie Nights now.
And
Sounds kind
Magnolia is great. I watched it only
yeah.
once, but that was like 2, 3 years ago, and I was like, damn. Yet again, he throws so much in your way. Like you need to sit with it for a couple of days. But I remember like, this is fucking awesome, and like this is one of the fastest 3-hour movies I've ever seen.
It's
I
a
will
very
say
quick
that
3 hours.
for
Yeah.
Magnolia because like that's one of the things that always stopped me with Magnolia. I was like, oh, 3 hours, okay, okay. And then one evening, one afternoon, I found myself the 3 hours, and I'm like, this was 3 hours? What the fuck? That just flew by.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think with this we can move to the underrated part of this podcast. where I
Okay.
ask you, who do you think is the most underrated actor we have right now?
So that was a tough one for me. And I was
Okay.
like, do I go with actors who haven't really won an Oscar yet? So I took out all the actors who have won Oscars.
Okay.
Um so I went with someone actually who uh maybe not be as well known right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope he does in the future because he's really had an impact on me. Uh, because I first saw him in a Jurassic Park movie, and I was like, what are you doing, dude? I just very one note playing a douchebag kind of a character.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw him in this coming of age movie in 2018, and I was like, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
now I see it. So who I'm talking about is Nick Robinson. Uh,
Nick Robinson.
yes, Nick Robinson. He's not very well known right now, but to me, he's underrated. He was in this coming of age film called Love, Simon back in 2018, which I adore.
Ah.
Uh, and he is fantastic
Mm-hmm.
in the role. And then I saw him a couple years later in this limited series on Hulu called A Teacher with Kate
Mm-hmm.
Mara about a student-teacher relationship and kind of what he's asked to do emotionally really broke me. And I was really impressed by how I was able to pull it off. So yeah, Nick Robinson for me, like I said, he's not well known right now, but I think
Mm-hmm.
we're going to be talking about this kid uh, over time for sure. I really, really like him as an actor.
So I've only seen him in a couple of things. Yeah, but I remember. Okay, I know who you're talking about. Okay, I only thing I've seen him in are the blockbuster stuff like Jurassic World, which is not that great. It's a perfectly average movie, or King Kong Skong Island. That's
Yeah,
also decent movie, but it's like not like, so it's not one of those like, oh, you would remember him from then. I still haven't seen Love, Simon, but it's on my radar. I
it's
know
good. It's
I
great. I
know of
love
the
that song.
movie. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I hear it's really good. So, but again, there's like like 2,000 movies on my watch list. So it's like it's very hard to find the time to watch them all. And then you stumble upon, hey, this is a movie I never heard of. This seems interesting. Let's watch it. And that's how, neither of my watch list queues are getting any smaller. But no, yeah, like Love, Simon, I heard good things about, and if he's great in it, I'll need to watch that because I only seen him in like three big things, and they were always like big blockbusters movies where it's like I don't even remember how he looked like.
yeah,
But that is a proper definition of underrated. So thank you for that.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
so who do you think is the most underrated actress we have right now?
So she's also my favorite actress of all time,
Oh,
and I have a crush on her. Like she's my celebrity crush as well.
okay.
Dakota Johnson.
Dakota Johnson, very nice.
Yes, yes, Dakota Johnson to me, and my love for her started in 2018 again, like Nick
Mm.
Robinson, uh, with Love Simon, Dakota Johnson with Bad Times at the El Royale.
That's one of her movies I still haven't seen, but it's also on my shelf as a nice 4K. So I'm getting there. But I
It's
heard,
great.
yeah, I heard it's a great movie. I heard she's great in it. So
She
what
is
makes her like
phenomenal.
underrated for you?
So to me, I feel like people gave her a bad rap after 50 Shades,
Yeah. Yes.
and that's fair and unfair. Fair because she's in them.
Yes.
She's not great in them. But I don't think it's entirely her fault, and I don't really think. There are certain actors, Luke, who I think are meant for the big studio films, and I
Mm-hmm.
think there are others who are not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is not to throw shade on her anyway, but I don't think she thrives in the indie realm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There are about a handful of films in her filmography where I'm like, people need to see this, because I think she has this underrated sense of comedic timing that does not get talked about
Yes.
enough. I think she's really funny,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also very dry. Like if you're not a fan of dry humor, she's just not going to work for you at all. Uh, but I think she can pull out some really good emotional beats that 50 Shades just didn't allow her to show off.
Yeah. No, 100% no.
So I recommend Peter Butter Falcon. She's
Yes.
great in that. Uh, she is great in The Lost Daughter.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Our Friend, she's fantastic in. It's a underrated movie with Jason Segel and Casey Affleck,
Mm-hmm.
and she plays a someone who has terminal cancer. And it's basically about kind of her last days
Mm-hmm.
and how her relationship with Jason Segel and Casey Affleck, kind of how that shapes the road, or her marriage and her friendship with Jason Segel, kind of how that intertwines with her battling cancer
Hmm.
and how the
Hmm.
impact that has on both their lives. She's asked to do a lot,
Hmm.
and there's moments in that film where it's just absolutely heartbreaking. To me, actually, that's probably her best performance.
Okay.
My favorite movie she's ever done is Cha Cha Real Smooth, a film she did in 2022
Hmm.
with Cooper Raiff, one of my favorite up-and-coming directors.
Hmm.
Yes, that's probably my favorite film from her.
Okay.
And then she did a, speaking of Sean Penn, she did a film with Sean Penn last year called Daddy-O,
Yes.
which I love so
Same.
freaking much. I
Same.
love that movie. No one saw it.
I did.
I actually, my man Luke. So actually, Shay and I talked about that film quite a bit.
Hmm.
I love that. That's the best I've seen Sean Penn in years, too.
Yes.
He is so freaking good. And the fact that she's playing off Sean Penn and they're
Hmm.
back and forth, and the way
Hmm.
she's just like holding her own against a Titan like a Sean Penn,
Hmm.
it's phenomenal. I love that movie. That's probably my second favorite movie of hers. And then
Hmm.
this year she had Splitsville and Materialists, which are both
Hmm.
great films. I love both of
Yes.
those movies. So yeah, she and an underrated film too, because I love rom-coms. I have a soft spot for rom-coms.
Hmm.
Luke, How to Be Single.
Oh yeah. 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 I've
She's really
seen
funny
that.
in it. Yeah.
She's pretty
So
good. Yeah.
yeah, I really like her as an actress. It also helps that she's my celebrity crush. But yeah,
Hmm.
I just feel like once 50 Shades happened, she hasn't been able to escape that yet. So
So I think you're second or third person who brought up her name. So
okay.
I have said the many points I'm about to say, but so yeah, Daddio, great movie. I still haven't seen Cha Cha Real Smooth, but it's on my watch list. Uh, what else? Yeah, like, but yeah, like, she and you said the same thing. Her comedic timing is so dry. I feel, and I've made this point before, many people hate her or don't like her because on interview shows because she can come across like a bit weird, bit like almost like rude to a point, and I'm always like, no, this is just very specific type of humor. Like I have a similar type of humor where I'm like, well, this joke didn't land, but okay, here we go. Nothing, it's fine. We move on. But she's just like so like I feel like we need to see her in a proper comedy, like something like How to Be Single, but something slightly better, please. Like that movie was fine, just but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, with her, I think her problem is her biggest movies are 50 Shades, which is it's a fan fiction from that's spun from Twilight. It's not gonna be great. And unfortunately, Madam Web, that's a movie that was supposed to be. If you read what she actually signed to do and what that movie ended up being, you understand why she fired her agent when she saw the first trailer. Because that movie was supposed to be much, much better, but through the production and through Sony and through a bunch of other stuff, that movie's changed completely. And it's the hot garbage we now all love. Quote?
The
A
movie's
question
not
mark?
great. Yeah,
Not
the
great.
movie's not great. And I think she thought she was signing up to be a part of the MCU as well.
Sydney
Yeah,
Sweeney also, many people in that movie like, oh, I'm gonna join MC. What do you mean, Sony? What?
yeah.
It's like,
And then also her press tour, legendary. Because she
yes,
is just shitting on the movie the entire
yes,
time. And I
yes.
loved it. I loved it.
Again,
'Cause-
like I remember the news that came out when the first trailer dropped, and you're like, oh, that looks bad. And a day or two later, Dakota Johnson fires her agent. I'm
yeah.
like,
Like the movie's not great. It's one of
yeah,
the Marvel Sony things that just did not work amongst
no,
basically everything that did not work for the Marvel Sony villain universe. The
yes,
spunk.
yes,
Uh, yeah, that movie's hot garbage. But I think I enjoyed more the behind the scenes of just her shitting on him when she's doing interviews than the actual movie itself. And because I
100%.
think there's actually good sequences in that movie. It's just the movie as a whole it's trash. But
Yes.
like there's something really cool, kind of like adding a Final Destination type of element into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the writing is just it is atrocious. It is awful. And the villain might be the worst villain in any comic movie.
what doesn't help, many lines are like clearly like ADR later, where
Oh, the
you don't
ADR
even
is so
see
bad.
him, you don't
Yeah.
even see him talk, or like there's a shot from him from behind where you can kind of see he's not really, the actor is not talking, but there's a, there's audio of him talking. So I'm like, oh, this is very awkward. This is very awkward. Yeah, it's no, and but yeah, that's the problem with her and the mainstream audience. Like mainstream people only know her from like 50 Shades. She's the one. Oh,
The
she's
bad movies. Yeah.
yes, or Madame Web, and then they don't see Materialists, which is she's great in, or Peanut Butter Falcon, or Daddy, or again, I haven't seen Cha Cha Real Smooth, but you're like the second or third person who says she's great in that movie
She's
too.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I think, and again, like her comedic sense of timing, that kind of quirky weird humor where she's like yeah, it's not gonna work for everybody. It works for me. I think she is much better than she's being given credit for. And I can see her doing like Kristen Stewart, where after Twilight she was the punchline of every joke. And she worked her way up, and now it's like, oh yeah, Kristen Stewart, she's a great actress. She was like one of the front runners for for her performance in Spencer to win an Oscar, and if she won that year, nobody would have bat an eye. So, and I can see her being the same trajectory. She just needs to pick better movies, like
Yeah.
give us more materialist and Peanut Butter Falcons and Madame Webs, and all will be good.
Well, every once in a while, you need that superhero paycheck. Um,
Yes, every once in a while, yeah, yeah.
you need that superhero paycheck. But I do like when she just, I hate saying this, but like she stays in that like that indie realm. I feel like she really thrives in like those smaller films because she really gets to show who she is. Because a lot of times
Mhm.
with big studio films, you don't always get to choose. You don't always get to show your acting chops, right?
Correct.
So I look, she's getting ready to direct for do her first directorial debut.
Hmm.
I forgot what the film's called, but she's doing it with like Jessica Alba, Vanessa Burkhart, and somebody else. I forgot who, but I think it's coming out 2026, 2027 sometime. So I'm excited for her directorial
Interesting.
debut.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen Jessica Alba in ages, so that
it's
would
been a
be,
while. Hmm.
yeah, it'd be very interesting what she, how she's like as a director.
Yeah.
Because like talk about somebody who turned from actress to a director like Maggie Gyllenhaal. She like Lost Daughter, you already mentioned that movie. I thought it was a great movie. And
Yes.
I am hyped for The Bride next year. Yeah, I am so hyped for that movie, and that cast looks phenomenal. The trailer looks great. It looks punk as fuck. And I'm like, okay, Maggie Gyllenhaal, give it to me. I'm ready. Like I cannot wait. So yeah, hopefully Dakota might have more in her than we see right now. And yeah,
Lost,
let's hope for the best.
Lost Daughter is good.
Yes.
Uh, I wish more people saw that movie. That's a good movie.
It's a hard one to sell because the main, if your core
It is.
message is some people shouldn't be parents, and we need to talk about that, how there are many people who have kids and shouldn't have kids in the first place. It's a hard sell for many people because then they need to reflect on, oh, am I that person? I'm hopefully not that person. Am I that person? And yeah, many people hate that movie because of what it tries to say, and I'm like, mm, okay, all right, all right.
I was happy with Materialist though, that I think it's like A24's third highest grossing movie now of all time.
Hmm. Hmm.
Which is it's curious. It's like $108 million, but that's a lot for A24.
Yes.
So uh, I think with Materialist though, I think people got sold too much on the rom-com when it's really not a rom-com at all.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, and I think I mentioned this on the podcast as well. The first trailer did not fill me with any confidence. Like, I was so hyped, and I saw the first trailer. I'm like, what? Is this your follow-up after Past Lives, which was a fucking incredible movie?
Past Lives top
Okay.
10 film of all time for me. I love Past Lives.
Past
Yeah,
Lives is so good.
yeah.
But yes, I was like, okay, well, hopefully this is just a weird trailer. Oh, hopefully this movie will be different. And it is totally different. It is definitely
It's not a rom-com.
like it is a rom-com, but in a way, on like now it seems like Celine Song is gonna be one of those directors who only Celine Song can make a movie like this work. And
Hmm.
I loved that, like I've written in my Letterboxd review something like you're kind of stereotypical rom-com to a point, but it's told through lens of Celine Song, a person
Yes.
who is not ordinary, who is not like in the best way. She is quirky. She sees a world through different lens than most of us do, and this is how you make great original movies. Like I love that she's making movies, and I cannot wait to see what else she has in store because like Celine Song is, talk about up and comers, and I'll be watching anything they'll do.
Oh, absolutely. 1,000%. She is 2 for 2 in my book. Yeah.
Yes, yes, same, same. Even though like I wish I loved Materialist like a tiny bit more, but again, maybe on a rewatch. But like I love Past Lives. That movie made an impact on me. Like I was like, damn, that's how you tell a great relatable drama without it being boring, without it being preachy, without it being anything, and it just spectacular. Like so fucking good. So who do you
Yeah.
think is the most underrated director we have right now?
This one
I
I
know.
struggled with
Okay.
mightily because there are, for me, underrated directors, like what defines underrated, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, are they directors that don't have Oscars on their mantles? Well, that's a handful of directors because there's a certain amount
Mm-hmm.
of directors who have that. I wouldn't put someone like a George, like a not George Paul PTA, who we were talking about, up
Mm-hmm.
there as like underrated,
Mm-hmm.
or a John Carpenter, just major influences in our with horror. So I came down between two
Okay.
directors. I was like, okay, maybe these two might be a little underrated.
Mm.
Matthew Vaughn,
Okay.
who made Kick-Ass one of my
Mm-hmm.
favorite comic book movies. Love Matthew Vaughn.
Kingsman.
Kingsman is wonderful.
Yep.
X-Men First Class is
Yep.
great. Um,
Layer Cake.
I haven't seen Larry Cake.
It's pretty good. It is.
Pretty good.
It
Okay,
is. It is pretty.
that's
Basically
Daniel
it's
Craig,
Matt.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
it's Daniel Craig before James Bond, but I feel like this was almost his audition for James Bond because that like you when you see the movie because that movie is like 2004. When you see that movie, it's like hey this was just prequel to James Bond like or for Daniel Craig at least.
Mm. I and I went back and forth on this one too because I
Hmm.
love a
Hmm.
lot of this man's movies.
Hmm.
Todd Phillips.
Oh, interesting.
But
Interesting.
it's the problem with him is his sequels are not great.
Yeah,
Joker 2,
he
Hangover
definitely
3.
likes yes, he definitely likes his sequels. Yes.
But then he has made one of my favorite comedies of all time, The Hangover. Still
Hmm.
a top three comedy for me.
Hmm.
I enjoy The Hangover Part 2. I don't care what anyone says. I think The Hangover Part 2 is a lot of fun. It's a guilty
I
pleasure.
I thought too, to be honest. Like, yeah, is it the same movie as the first one? Only set in Thailand? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
But it still had like I only seen both of them once, but they like I remember thinking it still had good moments. I still had a blast. So like,
Yeah.
it wasn't maybe as good as the first one, but I enjoyed myself. But the third one, I
Third one
was
was
like
not good. Third one was not good. No,
that
third one was
was
not
like
good.
so not needed. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
So I old school, love old school, 2003.
Hmm.
Uh, War Dogs is one of the most underappreciated films of the 2010s with Jonah Hill and Miles Teller. Great little
War Dogs
crime
is
movie.
good.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love War Dogs. So I went with Todd Phillips on this one.
Okay.
Even with Joker 2 and Hangover Part 3 being on his resume, Joker is a top 15 comic book film of all time for me.
Hmm.
Hangover, top three comedy.
Hmm.
Old School probably a top 10 or 15 comedy.
Hmm.
Um, Due Date, Downey and Zach Galifianakis is an underrated comedy.
For me, yes, I love that movie. I
Yeah, I
love
love
Due
Due
Date.
Date.
Yes.
So he's made some movies, and what I like about him too is after The Hangover, he kind of got a bit darker, a bit more edgier. War
Hmm.
Dogs and Joker.
Hmm.
So I like how he kind of branched out from just a straight up comedies and doing a bit more edgier, like
Hmm.
War Dogs and stars more Joker. So
Yeah.
yeah, I went with Todd Phillips. I don't know if like I said, underrated might be a stretch because he has made some great comedies,
Hmm.
and did he get a Best Director nom for Joker?
I believe so, but I'm
Okay,
definitely it was just a nomination. Like
yeah, no, he
definitely he
didn't win
didn't
it.
win. Yes.
I just
But
can't
I
remember if he got nominated for Best Director.
let me quickly check. But no, to
Yeah,
your point about Todd Phillips, it's I don't mind him. Nominated for 4 Oscars, so yes, probably. One of them was for picture, yeah, directing and screenplay. So yeah.
it did
Okay.
get a screenplay nom.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
And yeah, like so Joker, I also enjoyed the first one. But I
Yeah,
only seen it once in the cinema. The
okay.
second one I also seen in the cinema, unfortunately. And that was again, a lot of choices have been made. I
Hmm.
kind of understand or see where he was going with that, but it's kind of like in the same vein as Megalopolis. Like, I can understand your overall message, I think, but the way you go about it and the way you lead me through this forest, which is your movie, I don't know if I necessarily vibe with that, right?
Hmm.
And I think that's ultimately what many people have don't like about Joker 2 specifically. But yeah, like War Dogs, I feel like he is the king of almost like underappreciated movies. Like Due Date is great.
I love Due Date. Yeah.
Like War Dogs is a solid movie. It's like a solid like in and out movie. Like Hangover, like has some of the jokes aged not well. Probably it's a movie from 2007 or 8, so
Hmm.
probably some of the jokes will be a bit more cringy now. But it is a sign of the time. It is what it is.
Let me ask you this, because I
Huh.
had I had a couple others I wrote down, but I
Okay.
wouldn't consider them just because of how they're viewed in the public eye, right?
Okay.
Like Spike Lee. I feel like he still doesn't get,
No, he's
yeah,
not underrated. No, no, no.
yeah.
Spike,
But see, I
no.
feel like we don't talk about him like we used to though with Spike Lee.
I think for him, because he's made some questionable decisions like remaking Old Boy, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And it's just one he is, and also I admire him. I like him, but he's definitely one of those. He has opinion about every single thing, and he lets you know, and that can be a bit like sometimes he seems to be a bit too much up in his own ass. Like you're
Yes.
listening to some of the interviews with him, like he knows cinema, he knows his craft. That no denying there. He
Hmm.
is great director who's made several great movies. But sometimes he is sniffing his own farts a bit too much every once in a while. And I
I love that
think,
phrase.
and the remake of Old Boy and the choices he makes with that remake
Ooh,
are definitely choices.
yeah.
It's definitely one of those like, A, we didn't need it because Old Boy is great. B, oh, those are the choices you make to this original movie. We definitely didn't need that. Okay, okay, Spike. But yeah.
So this other director I chose,
Hmm.
she's only made two films, which is why I left her off the list, but she's one I think we need to keep an eye out for in the future.
Hmm.
Her name is Megan Park. She made a movie called The Fallout, which
Yes,
I love, by the
that's a
way.
great movie. Yeah.
Saw that at South by Southwest virtually. That was great. And then My Old Ass, which is just phenomenal. Another great coming of age movie. I mean,
Both
she
great.
is, yes,
Yes, yes.
people need to be on the lookout for Megan Park. She's great.
She 100%. Yes, yes. Like she, in a kind of way, is Celine Song, except her movies gotten more recognition. Like I feel like she needs that one, like a big hit, and people will know of her and go back and like, oh, she's made two great movies already. Cool.
She needs her Barbie.
But yes, like she needs a Barbie, she needs her past lives, she needs something that puts her on a map and like, oh, Megan Park, director of this movie. Of course, I know her. Like
When you think
My
about,
Old Ass was awesome.
oh, I love My Old Ass. But you
And
think about Greta Gerwig, right?
yeah,
She did Lady Bird, Little Woman,
yes.
two great movies, but she still didn't get over that
Hmm.
hump of like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Barbie came out. Now look, now she's getting ready to do Narnia.
For
I think,
Netflix, for some
yeah,
reason.
for Netflix, yeah, for whatever reason. However, same thing about with Megan Park. She has done two movies that have gone straight to streaming, HBO Max and Amazon.
Hmm.
I think My Old Ass got like a limited theatrical release though, if I'm not
Yes, I've
mistaken.
seen it with my now wife. We've actually seen it in a cinema. So
Okay. Okay.
I was supportive for that movie. Yes.
Yeah. Give her that $100 million budget, let her do something, and then let's
Yes.
see what happens.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like she deserves it. Like both of her movies. Like first, couldn't be any different. Couldn't be more different because like Fallout, what it deals with, the shock and aftermath of a school shooting. So
It
it's
gets,
not
and
a
that movie gets heavy, but it doesn't get like to the point of like Requiem for a Dream where it just gets
no,
depressing.
no. Yeah, it's not like it. Definitely, yeah, correct. It doesn't go as heavy, but definitely there are some scenes where like Jesus, that feels. It's such a shame that this movie needs to even exist.
Yeah, but it needs to exist for that, yeah, because
It's a shame.
especially here in the States, it just happens too many times now.
I was
So
gonna say, like, it doesn't happen anywhere else in the world. Like, school shootings like that. I'll tell you, let me tell you that. No matter what the politicians will tell you, it doesn't happen. That's not, it shouldn't be regular. Shouldn't be thoughts and prayers every single time it happens. It should be something, something should be done. and we all know what's the thing, but nobody wants to do it. I love guns too, but there needs to be some sort of moderation. Like again, everything in moderation, especially guns that can kill fucking 50 people in 1 minute. Nobody needs to own that kind of gun. I love me some guns. I love me some guns. I don't own any. And no, nobody needs to own semi or automatic rifles. No. Sorry, but this is where you lose me. No. Even for protection, no, you don't need that. You need 9 millimeter, and even that can be a bit strong. But anyway, no, and yeah, and then my old ass. It starts as a comedy, and then it hits you right in the feels. And it just the way it hits you the last 20 minutes, the last 30 minutes, like you're gonna be hit, and then yeah, you're on mute, my good
Yeah,
sir.
yep. Yes, the twist in my old ass, I just did not see coming. So I was waiting for like the kind of
Mm-hmm.
because I felt like it was coming. I was like, what's she holding back? And when that happens, I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I still think I lean towards the Fallout because I think Jenna Ortega's performance kind of trumps
Mm-hmm.
everything. But
To
yeah,
be
both
fair,
really
like in my old ass, this was the first time I've seen Aubrey Plaza not be Aubrey Plaza, which I like Aubrey Plaza. That's one of those people, like, if you like their humor, you like
watch
the
Safety
people.
Not Guaranteed. You'll like her
I
in that.
have, I have. I'm
Okay.
not as I'm not as high on that movie as anybody else. Like I liked
Okay.
it, but I'm not as high on it. But like even then, she was more like in that Parks and Rec still stage to me at least. She was kind of this like weird, quirky, funny. But in an old, especially my old ass, in the last 20 minutes, like you see, something's up, and then she hits you with the what's up. And the unfortunate thing of like what happened to her personally in
Mhm.
her real life and how it mirror the movie. It's like holy fuck, poor Aubrey Plaza. Like when it happened, when her husband committed suicide, I'm like,
Yeah.
Jesus fuck, man. Like I really hope she's got the good people around her because like that must be fucking hard. Just
Yeah.
cannot imagine that. But no, like again, great directors, great movie. Somebody should give Megan Park some budget and let her do it do
1000%.
your thing. So, do you have a movie or two that you would want to shout out as underrated?
Yeah, I'll stick with the one. It's a movie that in the rom-com genre, which I love rom-com so much.
Okay.
Sleeping with Other People. Jason Sudeikis, Allison Brie,
Hmm.
rom-com directed by someone else who's underrated, Leslie Headland, who actually was the showrunner for The Acolyte, but I don't fully put that on her.
Hmm.
Um, this is a movie about sex addicts, love addicts, and it's a sharply written film. And the chemistry between our leads, between Sudeikis and Alison Brie, is some of the best you'll see in any rom-com. They have top tier chemistry for a rom-com film.
Hmm.
You instantly believe them. They have great banter. Their emotional connection in their scenes are you feel it. This film isn't afraid to get deep when it needs to.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, Sleeping with Other People and like I said, it's still a rom-com, so it can get cheesy sometimes, but it doesn't over cheese it like some other rom-coms will tend to do.
Okay.
And I don't think it falls into some of the same tropes that other rom-coms do. Like I said, it deals with sex addiction, it deals with emotional trauma,
Hmm.
it deals with self-sabotage. So yeah, it's a deep rom-com. Like it goes into places that most rom-coms don't.
Okay.
I actually have the Blu-ray. I'm looking right at it right now. So yeah, it's one of my
Nice.
favorites.
I have heard of that movie. I have not seen it yet. It's that's one of those like I'm hearing about it, and I'm like, okay, that seems like interesting. I'll watch it at some point. But yeah, no, this definitely pushes it forward to the like top of the queue because like I just watched Freelance the other day, with Alison Brie.
Freelance.
Yeah, it's Alison
Freelance.
Brie, John Cena movie.
Oh,
It's
that
on
movie's
Amazon.
terrible. Yeah, I hate that movie. Yeah,
It
that movie.
was it was
Yeah,
fine. Like to me, it was fine. Like it's the like one of the most okayest movie that's ever okayed on a streaming service.
it's a
Like
movie. It's
it
like
is.
it's a movie.
Eh. But like there is something about Alison Brie. Like I even joked about it in my review. Like just her eyes alone make me want to finally watch Community because I still haven't seen Community.
I love Community so
Oh,
much. Oh my
I
gosh.
know, I know. I've heard about it ever since it started. I knew about that show ever since it started, but just never had the time to get into it, or never got into it for some reason. And I know many people absolutely fall in love with Alison Brie in that show. So, and she, like, I've seen her in a couple of movies, and she always seems to be that dorky girl next door type, which in the real life, she seems to be quite exhibition, the word I cannot say. She likes to get naked in real life, apparently, and she is very thrilled about it. And I'm like, I'm very thrilled that you're thrilled. Okay, like, yeah, I still haven't seen Together, their movie with
Fun movie.
which it's now I wonder how it's gonna play with the lawsuit that's against it, that apparently they stole the idea.
I'm gonna put too much. I want to put too much into that. Yeah.
Like, look, I don't know, but like, if the claim was that, like, somebody pitched pretty much the same movie to them, like 2 years before they made it, and they have a screenplay that basically is like shot by shot almost to some scenes, and I'm like, if they really have detailed screenplay and they can prove they pitched it to them 2 years prior, holy shit, that would be bad. That'd be very bad. But again, no, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. It's still being litigated, so nobody knows what happens besides Dave Franco, Alison Brie, and the people who sue them. But back to your point, yes, I haven't seen a movie, but I know, but I wanted to watch more Alison Brie movies because like there is something about her that's just very intriguing, and she is not bad looking either.
No, she's another like celebrity crush of mine. But yeah, the Allison Brie. Because my love for her started with Sleeping with Other People. Then I watched Community after Sleeping with Other People came out.
Hmm.
Um, she's great in Community, and she's like she plays a very innocent person in Community, which is really funny knowing who
Hmm.
she is.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, I love Allison Brie. She's great.
Okay. And so now I'm excited because you said you watch a lot of TV shows. So do you have a
Yes.
TV show you want to shout out as being underrated?
How much time do you have? Because I mean, we could have a whole conversation about underrated television.
Okay.
So one of my serialized app, I was looking at my favorite shows of all time.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
was looking through that list. So I took out How I Met Your Mother because that show's not underrated. I feel like for the most part, people love that show up until about the ending.
Yes.
Um, I went with the show that has gotten a lot of acclaim,
Hmm.
but not everyone has seen it. And it's two actors who are about as hot as they could be right now.
Hmm.
Normal People with Paul Mescal and Daisy Edgar Jones. It is my third favorite show of all time. It is one of the best. It might be the best written show I've ever watched in my entire life. That or The Sopranos. Um, it might be the most truest show about relationships I've ever seen. It's heartbreaking. It's beautiful. It's wonderfully shot. And this is where I met Paul Mescal and Daisy Edgar Jones. This
Hmm.
was a film I watched during lockdown.
Hmm.
I watched it with a friend via Zoom, actually. So we're both kind of like watching it on Zoom, or not
Hmm.
watching it like we're watching it on our TVs, but we're watching it like we're on
Yeah.
Zoom together while we're watching it.
Yeah.
We got through it in one night. We started like maybe 9, 10 o'clock, and we were done by like 3, 4 in the morning.
Okay.
And it's a very short binge, like 11, 12 episodes, each around 30, 40 minutes.
Hmm.
But it is beautiful. It is a show about
I guess normal people.
well, relationships in the modern era
Hmm.
and what can happen with lack of communication.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because I feel like that's missing in a lot of relationships is communication.
Hmm.
Um, the less I say, the better. But like, I just want you to experience because they play these people who are clearly meant for each other. But it
Hmm.
goes back to what we talked about earlier with timing. Timing is everything,
Yeah.
and also communication is everything. And so it
Hmm.
starts them out in high school, and it follows them basically until they're about young adults.
Okay.
So basically, after they're done with university and everything, and they're kind of in their careers, and there's so much more on the surface. There's more. There's so much more than you'll probably see like in the trailers and everything.
Hmm.
It deals with trouble, the difference between coming from money, coming with no money,
Hmm.
supportive parents,
Hmm.
not supportive parents,
Hmm.
abusive relationships, trauma, losing your best friends. It deals with a lot in its 11, 12 episode structure. I cannot emphasize enough though how beautiful the show is from a performance standpoint.
Hmm.
Daisy Edgar Jones kills it. Paul Mescal is brilliant.
Hmm.
And like I said, I mean, now they are two of the hottest names in Hollywood right now. I mean, those
Yeah.
guys are, especially Paul Mescal. He's really
Yeah.
come along. Daisy has as well.
Hmm.
But I feel like people need to watch this show just so they really know where they came from.
Hmm.
So yeah, watch Normal People. I feel like it's underrated. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but
I so
yeah,
I yet again I've heard of this show. It's been on my radar pretty much ever since it came out because many people like you like, oh, this is very not dark but very serious portrait of like relationship. Like
it's
it's
heavy,
definitely,
man.
yeah, it's
It's
definitely
heavy.
not a comedy. Yeah, that's what I know. That's the only thing I know about this. Paul Mescal, Daisy Edgar Jones, and it's not a comedy.
It's not.
It's a
There's
very
funny parts,
serious.
but it's not a comedy.
Yeah, yeah. So it's been on my radar ever since. So I do want to watch it. Especially, yeah, I love them both.
Big proponent of.
Oh,
I'm not
same.
a big proponent of physical media like I once was. I still collect physical media, but I really collect it for films I know I'm going to be watching stuff. But I do collect TV shows.
Hmm.
So I do have. I don't know if you can see it, but I do have Normal People here.
Yes.
But I can't watch it because it's like the UK. Like my Blu-ray doesn't support the
Ah, Region B. Yeah.
Region B.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I gotta find a Blu-ray that supports it. But
Hmm.
um, I'm still gonna keep it. I'm not returning it. I'm gonna keep it just
Smart.
because.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't even know where it's sitting on Rotten Tomatoes right now. But it is my favorite show of the 2020s and easily one of the best shows of all time for myself. But like I said, Luke, I'm gonna let you know right now. You probably won't be able to watch anything for a while after you get through it because like the ending is
Hmm. Yeah. I think that's one of the
bawled my
things.
eyes out. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just one of the things that stopped me because from reading just a few things about that show, like I understood very quickly how it's not like, it's a very serious, very heavy show. So I know I need to be in a specific state of mind to watch it. It's not like, it is not one of your shows like, oh yeah, it's a nice Sunday afternoon. Let's put normal people on for a
it's not
breezy.
that show. No,
Yes. So yeah, I it's been on my radar ever since, but it's yet one of those that's, yeah, it's just you find the time, but most importantly for this one, you need to find a mood. Like like how to, the movie you mentioned, How to Have Sex. I could probably put on right after we finish this call, and I'll be
hmm
happy with that. But normal people, I don't think I can put on anytime soon. Just to prepare myself for that kind
you
of.
definitely need to prepare yourself. I think that's the best thing I can say is prepare yourself.
Mhm.
But you're gonna be happy you watched it for
Yeah,
sure. You will
yeah.
be happy you watched it, and it's one of the more intimate shows of all time as well because it's not flashy either.
Mhm.
It's very quiet. It's very
And
personal.
both
So
Paul Mescal and Daisy Edgar Jones, I love them both. Like,
yeah,
I thought even the Where the Crawdads Sing or whatever that was named, like that movie that was
not a
produced by
great movie,
Tele.
but she's great in it.
Like, yeah, that's what I thought as well. I was like, oh, this is gonna be boring, and it was okay. It was pretty good actually. I liked it, but the main reason was Daisy Edgar Jones and her kind of like on the surface, it doesn't look like a much of a performance, but like she actually carries that movie, and I'm
She
like,
does.
damn, she is very like. And there was a movie I'm like, okay, she is not just another pale white girl. I was like, okay, there's something about her. There is something about it, and I learned about the show. I'm like, okay, okay, I need to watch the show. I need to watch. But yeah, I need to brace myself to watch the show.
I'll just throw out some other ones real quick.
Okay.
Chuck,
Mm-hmm.
Fun Spy Show. If
Mm-hmm.
Zachary Levi, if you haven't seen it, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Also my top 10 shows of all time. I'll throw out a comic book show that's actually my favorite comic book show of all time. I just watched it this year, Superman and Lois.
Mm-hmm.
What I think is probably the best portrayal of Superman and Clark Kent. I don't think New Girl's underrated.
Oh, that's a very popular show. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't watched
Uh,
it, but like it's very popular.
The Affair.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Great show. Dominic West, Laura Tinney. It excuse me. It is or Mara Tinney, not Laura Tinney. Mara Tinney.
Mm-hmm.
It it is a great show about the damaging effects of an affair.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting about that show is it's told from different characters' perspectives of how they see different situations. So you never know what really is who's the real reliable narrator, who's not.
Mm-hmm.
But watch The Affair. Man, I mean, I could be here all day talking about underrated shows. Ray Donovan is another great one.
Mm-hmm.
About a fixer in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Friday Night Lights, one of the best football shows. Big Little Lies.
Mm-hmm.
Suits, even though Suits kind of fell off after some characters left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of great television. Like we could be here for hours talking about like
Yeah.
underrated best. Like I hope maybe we can do an episode one down like Great television, underrated television. That'd be fun.
And you know what's funny? Out of all the shows you named, I've only seen one, but I've heard of pretty much all of them. But I've only seen Suits. I have watched the entirety of Suits, so I know exactly, which characters you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yes, but I still enjoyed even the last seasons, but it wasn't the same. Yes,
he wasn't.
they were definitely, they should have cut it when they had a chance. But like like Ray Donovan, I heard a lot of good things about. Haven't watched it yet. Big Little Lies, haven't have heard a lot of good things. Haven't watched it yet. Chuck, I have heard it ever since it came out. Like 2007. Like that's like mid
I think
2000s,
even
right?
earlier. Let me see. Let me see when Chuck started. Yeah,
So
2007. Yep,
yeah.
2007.
So even when it started, I was like, oh, many people love that show. I was like, okay, I need to check it out, but I haven't watched. I haven't. So there's
I've
so
got the full
much
box
to
of that Chuck right here too.
see,
Yeah.
see, and there's like so much to watch. Where like, yeah, you named all of these shows, and I've heard all of them, except I just don't have the time to watch them. So like, they are all on my like imaginary watch list,
So
but it's just yeah.
I had a summer. So this was the summer before college. So
Hmm.
this is 2014 summer, where I just like watched a whole bunch of stuff.
Hmm.
Um, I my summer before college, I did nothing but like hang out with friends and watch TV. But
Sounds
I
good.
got through Chuck in like a week and a half, all five
Wow.
seasons. I was locked in on Chuck to the point where I remember we took a family vacation to New York. That first night, I was like on season five or something, and I was like, I gotta finish this before I can focus on the rest of this trip. So I finished. I like spent that first night just watching the rest of Chuck, and
Hmm.
it's a very divisive ending. I will say that. I don't know if you've heard that before, but it's a very
No.
divisive ending. I'll be curious whenever you do get a chance to
Hmm.
watch it, what you think of the ending.
I don't see. I don't think I ever heard anybody talk about the ending of Chuck. To be honest.
I still don't think a lot of people have watched Chuck either.
That's the other thing. Yeah, I feel like many people know of the show. I think many people are where I am. Many people know of the show, but I don't know how. Well, it had 5 seasons, so must have been popular enough to have 5 seasons made. So
Because I know overseas it's different for you or in the States where you guys get how you guys where your shows are on services and different streaming services
yes,
stuff like such
yes,
that.
yes,
So I
yeah.
know for here in the States it's on Amazon
Mhm.
right now. I'm not sure if it's available overseas for you guys or not.
Like I have an app that tells me where everything streams, Just Watch, and that's a great app to, where you can just select where you are, what services you are. No, so Chuck does not stream for free anywhere. I could
Gotcha.
pay for it on Apple or Amazon.
Okay, there you
So
go.
yeah, sometimes it sucks to live in the UK or anywhere besides America for just that, for the TV shows and movies.
Yeah, for streaming, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, but then at least I don't have to deal with everything else that comes with living in America. So
Hey,
there are some
hey, hey.
upsides. There is some upsides to that. I'll just say that.
We're not that bad.
No, no, it's look, you're going through a hard time right now. I hope it's just a period of time rather than this is the new normal. I genuinely hope that.
I hope so too.
Yeah, we can only hope.
A girl
But
can dream, right?
correct, correct. But Rod, this has been a blast. Thank you so much for answering all my questions. Thank you so
Thank you so
much
much.
for taking your time. Before we say goodbye, let's flip a table. Do you have a question or two for me?
Yes. My first question is I'm trying to figure out what I want to ask first.
Hmm.
Okay, so my first question for you is when and why did you start your podcast?
So I started now almost 2 years ago, and because what I'm doing right now, I just love talking to people and reading different people's opinions about like movies, TV shows, but also the thing is like when you read just a review on like Letterboxd or whatever, you watch a video about like like a YouTuber making a video about, oh, I love this movie because of A, B, and C. You don't really get to know them. So I wanted to have a platform or a show where I would just invite anybody, and anybody can come here who is interested in movies just to share why, and just to also, but to get for anybody to get to know them a bit more personally rather than just a movie podcast. It's, this is, should be really about movies, but also about you.
Okay, because
So,
I we started ours back in 2020
hmm.
when
Hmm.
everyone was on lockdown, so everyone was starting a goddamn podcast. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's been a fun journey. It's
yeah.
been a fun journey.
Hmm.
Um, my second question to you is, I would like asking this, if you could go back or if you had no, not if you go back, if you could go, actually, yeah, if you can go back and watch a film for the first time, what would it be?
Like in a cinema or just like all
In a
together?
cinema.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Shane just recently asked me that on his show, and I think the answer I gave him was, see, I am into like all movies, including older movies. So like I gave him so there's this movie from 1953, I believe, called The
Hmm.
Wages of Fear. They made like a Netflix movie like 2024 that's supposed to be awful. Don't judge it based on that. But the original movie is phenomenal, and it's beautifully shot in like a black and white. I would love to watch that for the first time in a cinema because this is one of the most suspenseful movies you will ever see.
Okay.
It's about these guys who are like in a bumfuck nowhere. So there's nothing happening. They're all looking for work. So there's this very dangerous work of they need to transport nitro from point A to B through this jungle, and every move can kill you. Every move can explode the vehicle you're driving. It's a fascinating journey, and it's also, it speaks a lot about what the person can go through just for that paycheck, or
Hmm.
just to like even for survival. And it's a great movie. Another one would be there's a movie from like 48, I think, called The Red Shoes. It's a so I always say I don't really struggle with any movie genre. I love them all, but one exception might be the like historical drama, like Pretty Dresses movie, where I would call them like where they deal with issues we've already surpassed. So like they are not as I'm not as interested in that those. But this movie about ballet and about the red shoes story just grasp you, and like the way it's shot, the way it looks, the colors, it's one of the best looking. This movie from like 48 is one of the best looking movies you will ever see. And watch that if I could watch it on a big screen, I would jump on that like instantly. That would be such an experience. And also it's a great movie.
I love that. I think for me, it's like I would love to go back in time and rewatch Jaws in theaters for the first time because I never got to see
Mm-hmm.
Jaws in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Empire Strikes Back. I would love to just be
Yeah.
in that era
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
of because they lived in a time where they didn't have Twitter, so they didn't know anything about the movie. Just going in completely blind to like an Empire Strikes Back.
Not knowing the biggest twist of cinema. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I would love that. And then I guess like for more recent films, I would love to like go back to when I was in high school just to rewatch that first Avengers movie for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And I did watch
Yeah.
that in the cinemas. I remember that was awesome. That was
One of
great.
my favorite theater experiences of all time, just because that
Yep.
was actually one of the three films I've seen at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an experience I'll really won't forget.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was also the first time my parents let me actually stay out past midnight was to go see a movie. So that was kind of fun also.
Nice. Nice. Any other questions?
No, no, those are the two questions I want to ask. Absolutely, yeah.
Perfect. Well, again, thank you so much for all your time. Thank you so much for your patience. And if people have enjoyed listening to you talk, what's the best way for them to, follow you? Where can they follow you?
Yes, so mainly you can follow me. I do a podcast with my friend Ben. We release episodes every week.
Mm-hmm.
The Infinity Film Podcast. Uh, so we go over a variety of subjects. We are very comic book centric, so we will have a lot of comic book episodes, but we talk about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a new episode coming out. By this episode's not coming out until December, so let me not say
Yes.
that. But uh, we release episodes usually every Saturday, sometimes Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
just depending on the episode. But so yeah, you can look forward to that. And then you can find me on my personal film page at the Cinema Gallery. That's the Cinema Gallery with three L's because I'm stupid and I put three L's in gallery. But yeah, you can find the there on the Cinema Gallery, and then at the Infinity Film Podcast, you can find us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. We have over 250 episodes, so whatever your heart
Wow.
desires, we've got episodes for everybody out there. So um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, well, hopefully maybe we can get you on the podcast one time too. We'll love to have you as a guest.
If you have me, I'll be more than happy to show up. If people, I always say, if, I'm looking for guests, but, if people want to hear me on their podcast, more than happy, especially,
I
as
would
long as
love
it's
to.
movies,
Yeah.
that's the only one area I really know. Look, it's movies.
Yeah.
Did you not say you have a letterbox? Is it also cinema gallery?
Yes. You can follow me on Letterboxd also at the Cinema Gallery. That actually it's so my letterbox is actually just cinema underscore gallery, spelled
Okay.
correctly. So yeah,
All right.
you can follow me there, cinema underscore gallery.
You've learned from your mistake.
I learned from my mistakes. I did.
That's that's what we like to see. That's what we call growth. Yes.
I grew up. That's right.
Yes. No, it's all the links will be down there as always. And for me, in the movies Lost on Letterboxd or here every other Friday, or Cinematic Wasteland with my buddy Shane Conto and Adam Ritchie, or Wasteland respective with just Shane Conto every month. And that's it. This podcast is part of SPDM Media, and special the thanks goes to HiFlyer Creative for designing my logo. If you want to see what else they have happening, visit hiflyercreative.com. And until next time, bye bye.